Hey, what is up, everybody? Thank you very much for joining us. We are the LexaCrunch crew, Thunder from Down Under. Tonight is Press X to skip. Only we know what that means, so suck it. And we're going to do our usual intro, so from left to right.
Oh, that's right. I'm the one on the left. Hi, I'm not David Bowie. And I'm definitely not.
You're the one with David Bowie.
Hi, everyone. I am Chesh from Cheshire Plays Games. I am apparently Australian, but I was born in
Australian.
so, I mean, it's one of those things where you could argue that I'm technically not an Australian because I was born on a fucking island, and it makes no sense.
Australia is an island.
Well, it makes no fucking sense that Tasmania is a part of Australia when New Zealand is fucking not.
Yeah. When you think about it, Chesh, everything's an island.
What's up, everybody? My name is Brandon, aka producer, a host here at MTG Lexicon. I'm just here for the shenanigans. I like to stick around and watch people do bullshit. So
Also, I'm not an island. I am an entire continent.
Go.
Exactly. I'm Sam from Commander Crunch. We love talking about Commander and people and life and all that stuff. And another Australian on board. I'm just around to hang out and watch these lovely people fight about Mortal Kombat Deep Lore. It's perfect.
Hashtag spoilers. We can fight without having a fucking tournament.
No, we can't. And I am Jeff from the Lexicon crew. And I am going to be on tomorrow night with Brandon.
Oh, nice.
I'll be even with my new schedule. I will be able to make the streams.
Hell yeah!
And guess what? My taquitos just finished, so I'm gonna pull those out of the microwave.
Hell yeah!
I love it. If you guys need a player later on tomorrow, let me know and I'll sub in gladly because I miss you.
Just put your name
I should actually
down.
do that. Oh, I forgot to. We've got a podcast we're worrying about first. So yeah.
I'll get back to you 2 hours after you were supposed to start.
I mean,
Who said that? Right?
let's be honest. We messaged you multiple times, Chesh.
They sent you a fax. They sent you a pigeon. They sent you a raven.
The pigeon made it, and the state killed it.
Exactly. I'm
Pigeon.
What's Johnny saying?
Another shrimp.
On
the Barbie.
The Barbie.
Throw another fucking shrimp on the Barbie, eh?
Guys, I know this may surprise you, but I've never actually had a shrimp on the Barbie. Oh no, I have had a shrimp on the Barbie for like
we had this conversation, and yes, you have.
Yeah, no, I had one. My friend Alex did.
Yeah.
My friend Alex did this really nice marinated ones, and he butterflied the prawns or the shrimp, whatever. And
yeah, we call them fucking prawns, not shrimp.
Prawns, exactly. He left the shell on too for like extra, like when you char the crap out of them, the shell kind of just becomes
don't look at him like that.
a delight. What's that?
As Brandon gave you this look of what? And it's like, yeah, you're supposed to when you're cooking them.
I'm allergic to seafood, but I still wouldn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, gross. But you totally can, and it's just like a kind of, you're just eating the chitinous shell thing, and it's like softened a little bit, but still like a crunchy outer exoskeleton, if you will. So yeah, it's like just eating little xenomorphs, basically, right?
It's weird. So like every time I see some fucking motherfucker cooking a barbecue and somebody brings fish, right? And they wrap it in foil, and I'm like,
make it
don't like
char it.
I'm like saying to them, like, here we go. Get yourself some oil, get yourself a banana leaf. Trust me. Slice some thin lemon to like put in there as well, a little bit of butter, a little bit of like parsley or something, and then cook that shit on the barbecue. Trust me.
And you heard it here first, cooking with LexaCrunch.
Yeah, and it won't be the last time.
That won't be the last time. But the thing I was going to say about shrimp, so there's a couple of different types of prawns here in Australia.
Yep.
Prawns.
Bottom feeders, yes. Prawns.
And two of the biggest one are banana prawn and king prawn. King prawn is deep sea. And if you're ever in Australia and you have the fucking chance, here's what you want to do. King prawn, camembert, sweet chili pizza.
Oh,
It shouldn't
baby.
work, but trust me, if you've ever had Philly cheese and fucking sweet chili, think of that on a pizza, but think the cheesy part is actually a little bit more solid, and
Yeah.
then prawns, and then
I'm all for
thank me
that.
later.
Sounds
It's
delicious.
so good.
Yeah, love it. Johnny's asking who's participating in the food chain challenge. Are we talking about magic cards or real food? Like, I don't know.
He
like
says to be at
actual
the
food.
top, you must start at the bottom. He's
Started
talking
from the
about
bottom, now we're
you're
here.
eating the roach of the ocean, so
Yeah,
I think you're
exactly,
working
exactly.
your way up.
It is a real life thing. I love that. Exactly. Because some people feel that way, and I guess that's you too, Brandon, about the idea of prawns and types of fish that are bottom feeders. That's
I mean, I'm still
particularly
allergic to
disgusting.
seafood, so I don't eat them,
I
but they
know,
are
but
the roach
particularly
of
just
the ocean.
the concept of the ones that eat the crap off the bottom, the floor of the ocean, being
Okay,
and,
so
and they
disgusting.
literally eat the poop. They literally eat the shit like
It's
of
fine.
other animals.
So I'm technically on the top of the food chain, right?
Yeah.
Only because pineapple can't eat me.
I don't know about that. I'd put money that
What-
pineapple would win.
Exactly. The
I'm
massive
skeptical.
Yeah, I'm just because I kind of want to see like Mortal Kombat pineapple versus Chesh. Like, exactly. Round one. Are we more similar to prawns than we'd like to admit? That's awfully conceptual.
Well, you
and I
need
think you're right.
you need to
Yeah.
read the message above that
Oh,
first.
gotcha. I should actually do that. If he eats the ass, yeah, exactly.
I'm for
Yes.
sure a bottom
No,
feeder.
Pretty much.
All right,
I'll
is
pretty much try anything once when it comes to food. Absolutely. One of the weirdest things, and I think I've mentioned this before, that I've ever eaten, and you have similar things around the world, so don't think this is just gross. Witchetty
another
grub.
cheeseburger. Sorry, Brandon.
Of course, it
Another
is.
cheeseburger. He's eaten 2 cheeseburgers. Anyway, the witchetty grub, exactly.
He's American. He's just pulling an Elvis. Cheeseburger bacon.
I mean, I've been eating a
burgers-
ton of nuggets too in front of you, but you had never seen the
no.
nuggets for some reason.
New Jays, if you will. Some new Jays. Yeah, a witchetty grub. Remember on the podcast, Chesh, that Aaron Campbell was like, "What's a witchetty grub?" And we're like, "Well,
Well, yes.
Well. these big old
It's a big old fucking grub that lives in a
wormy
tree.
thing.
It's probably about this big, really.
Yeah, chunky thing."
All right, before
Big
we get
chunk.
too sidetracked, magic news. I believe
that's-
both of you have magic news.
We do. Basically, Chesh ate a witchy grub. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say there's a lot come out the last few days, and I don't know how much appetite we have as nice segue. For new magic cards, being that Strixhaven literally came out like about four hours ago, and we're just like, no, push it all aside. Get used to Dungeons Dragons for Adventures in Forgotten Realms, and what's the other one? Modern Horizons 2 and all that stuff. But I don't know. I kind of woke up yesterday and today on a bit more of a kind of open-minded, ready to receive some more cards kind of mode and actually go, maybe it is time. But I don't know. How you all feeling about product releases? A bit too much?
Can we just fucking stop? Can we just stop?
I know, right? I know.
I'm so
look,
exhausted. I'm still catching up on Commander Legends, honestly.
Yeah, and
here's
all the
the
cards
thing,
are
right?
Pringled,
So,
so they're dead. So
I feel like I can't remember, but I feel why do you have a picture of me in glasses? I feel like I've had enough of product releases because they are just like becoming once a month. They are cascading into each other. I don't even know if they are technically once a month, but it absolutely feels like it's once a month, and it's like
I think the announcement
don't
cycle is.
I don't want 12 releases in a year. Like, fucking give me time to breathe. Give me time to spend money on the cards that I actually want to buy and, like, stop pumping shit out. I'm excited for Modern Horizons 2, but it comes out, like, in 20 fucking days or something.
What?
Or at least that's what it feels like. No, it's a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, okay.
But that's what it feels like. You know what I mean? Like, we just had a set come out. And, like... We just had Time Sparrow remastered. On the back of that, we had Strixhaven.
I
on the
felt
back
like
of
it was just like that was a flash in the pan and like swept
Yeah.
on the carpet. No one remembers that. And if you're lucky enough to get a box, woo! But otherwise, well, that never happened. Like that was
And
wild.
otherwise, like, pay your $500 for a box, bitch.
Yeah, that's right.
And the other thing I have to put forward is Wizards collector boxes were a great idea in the beginning.
Oh,
The problem is that once you start flooding the market with useless shit, look at Haven. Don't Wizards, don't say anything. Just shh. It's okay, Wizards. I understand. Hasbro want you to make money. They want you to make money. I get it.
oh, they're pushing that.
They're
Yeah.
businessmen. I understand. But for the love of God and all that is holy, back the fuck up.
I mean, I
hang
gotta
on,
say
let me
this.
explain. Because
Yeah, go for it.
the base Strixhaven set is worth nothing. The
that's
cards
probably-
in the boxes are worth nothing.
That's great.
Even the cards in the collector boxes are worth nothing, except the Mystical Archive and the Japanese Mystical Archive foils. Everything else is worth nothing. That is not good.
So,
It's not
Chesh,
good.
I've let this marinate over a little while, and I've come to a realization that at first I was like, oh, I'm not as cool with just opening bulk product anymore because you're just more likely than not getting hosed because none of it's really worth as much anymore, thanks to set, well, not set boosters, collector boosters, that kind of thing. But it's what it means is like pretty much the base of any set now is just worth like you can pick up all the cards you want for pennies, and I think that is a good thing. And
which is great.
It's a symptom of it, though. Like, I don't think it's the intention. It's just like everyone's chasing the bigger, like they're pushing them into the bigger, like crazier releases. Means foils aren't any more expensive. They're often Pringles, but
the problem is even the base cards out of the collected boosters are worth shit all from the base set, right?
I know, but
what
I'm just not going to open product as much.
I don't think Chesh is saying as value. I think what he is saying is as a product in general.
Correct, right? As a product in general, it is not a good product to rip. It's not a fun product to rip, right? Collector
boxes
get hosed. Be for collectors. Yeah. Even collectors are looking at it going, "Why do you keep bringing out this trash?" Because it is trash. It is literally, you are not doing anything. You're creating a collector box, saying it's for collectors, but you're not giving anything in there for collectors, right? You can say that those Mystical Archive foils, the Japanese ones, are for collectors, but guess what? That doesn't fucking work because the box is a collector's box. Every item in that box should appeal to the collector. That is the idea behind it for the box that you put out there in the first place. You said, we want to do this particular product. We want to make it for collectors so that regular players can get their cards that they need to and be happy. And collectors have this special thing with special cards. The problem is they are not special cards at all. The way you've done it is confusing. Your etched foils aren't etched foils. I'll keep doing this because when you say they're etched foils, they have like 2% of foil on the fucking card. They're not etched at all. There's nothing etched about it. They are shitty printed knockoff foils. That is what they feel like. They do not feel like something I would collect. And I know a whole bunch of like high-priced collectors in the hobby are looking at them and going, why would I bother with these? These aren't what I'm looking for. Because you want to know why? Because they're not foils.
People are buying the crap out of them, and then all the prices go down.
They're not. That's the problem. It's not people buying the crap out of them.
It's a lack of people buying the crap out of them.
Exactly. Here's the problem. When I can still get a box of collector boosters for $300 Australian. Now, the previous ones hit the market at $350 to $360 and only ever went up from there. The latest release, the boxes are down to $300 because no one wants to buy them. Because other than the Mystic Foil Japanese ones, there's nothing for collectors to chase. At some point, Wizards are going to have to accept the fact that they fucked up and that this doesn't work. And what they need to do is reevaluate what a collector actually wants and what is going to create value. Now, you might not want to take the secondary market into account, Wizards, but you are, because that's why you do reprints. I get it. And I think the next set is a step in the right direction for that when you're giving us old boarded fetch lanes.
I think something that I would like to see, and to your point about collectors, because collectors like to know what they're getting. The randomization of it still continuing to be a booster for collectors is not great. And the reason why I'm explaining this is because when they first did the Mythic series for the Planeswalkers, before they did the Secret Layers, you knew what you were getting. Right, and now with the secret layers, it's the same thing. But the thing is, like with the original Mythic sets for what was it, Hour of Devastation and Ravnica, whatever.
War of the Spark, whatever.
War of the Spark. You knew that you were getting those Planeswalkers. That's what you were paying for, and you got a box with it, right? And
and there's some randomized
right, but as a
elements to it,
collector,
exactly.
I knew what I was getting, and I knew what I was collecting. By getting the booster
solid DB.
collector sets, I don't know what I'm getting. I could get absolute shit. Why would I invest in something that I know I'm not going to get? What they need to do is treat these kind of like secret layers, and if they're going to do a collector's booster, it's just all of the cards that are or could be a part of those collectors series in a single box for you to buy. Just kind of like how they did the From the Vault series stuff, right? You knew what you were getting in them.
Yeah, and I'm going to go back to previous points that I've made with this. Now, the first thing I'm going to say is there's some Star Trek up there. So I'm going to say this for whoever's making those decisions. You're a petach, all right? Learn some fucking Klingon. Learn some Klingon. Okay, great. The second thing I'm going to say is if you are going to continue to make collector booster points, right? Doing the old arts is fine, right? Everyone loves those. They do. Doing the old border stuff that you did in Time Spiral Remastered is a step in the right direction. You still need a something more. Whether it be numbered cards, whether it be specialty signed chase cards, you really, if you want to tell us that this is for collectors, put shit in there for fucking collectors. Don't just go like, here's some old art foils. That's not what you're talking about. That's a different kind of collector. If you are serious about creating a product that is specifically for the unique collector, which is what you told us you were trying to do, cards signed by the artist that are still playable are amazing. Commander players will jump on that shit and they'll fucking love it. 1/1 cards and 1 to 25, 1 to 99, 1 to 199 is all really good because it's great for secondary market, but more to the point, it's great for collectors. That is one of the things you should be looking at. Topps are doing it with Star Wars cards. Look at their Mandalorian cards. They did all sorts of really cool shit. There were special sketch cards signed by the artist, which is great. You had
artist signs one I want to see.
Character cards that were signed by the characters themselves, the people playing those characters. You had special lithographs and stuff. You had like sometimes special metal cards, which were, you know, in a card game, obviously you could still do the printing plate, right? Right? Where are the fucking printing plates? Are you keeping those so that you can reprint stuff? I get it. I do. But if it's a specialty product and you're like, oh, I don't know if we will ever reprint this, you can always make more printing plates. You can. Yeah. You've got billions of dollars. Include those as specialty one-of-ones. I guarantee you, this will make collectors go, holy crap, this is just like previous set X from very long ago that people probably don't even remember now, where you could get buyback cards. Now, here's the thing with buyback cards. If anyone remembers particularly...
Chesh, can I stop you right there? I agree with everything you said. Continue.
Well, wait, Chesh, before you start speaking again, I just want to say, to your point, the collector's market is a bigger budget that people are willing to work with as collectors than the average people. So if they target that, they're going to make way more money because collectors are willing to pay so much more for that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and that being said, they're trying to mix the bag, and it's ruining it for both.
Yeah, and they said that they were making this for whales, and then they started putting the cards in regular sets, and it was like, what are you actually doing here? Like, what is your end goal besides like pissing off everyone? Like, you're not pissing off one or the other. You're pissing off everyone. So make a product that is specifically for the collectors.
I always like to take a step back and go, are we that pissed off about cards? Like, They're trying. Maybe they're steering in different directions, whatever. But it's like all I see as a result is like, cool for the interim. And I think each one of these is always a step. They're trying something this direction, maybe bring it back, try the other direction. Generally, and that what they're offering now is not what they're going to be offering in a year's time. Each one of these changes a little bit. Maybe they start to implement a bit of this stuff. But as it currently stands, I can buy all the cards I want very cheaply because of all this. I need to be cool. I need to kind of step back, go, I don't need to buy all this like sealed product like I usually did. Let's be a bit smarter about this.
No. So you're confusing the point here, right? Because it's not a point of the collector boosters are making everything cheaper, right? Because some of the cards you get in collector boosters you can't get elsewhere. The problem is that the set is like Strixhaven especially was not exciting for standard players, right? The fact that Wizards tell us that they have a playtest group in-house, but they're allowing things through, and Wizards have specifically said they were allowing things through so that they could, if it becomes a problem, they will just like ban it or whatever, right? Which is a problem because it means that although they are quote unquote trying to push the envelope, they're doing it in an entirely gross and incorrect way to do it, because you should know where the ceiling on a card is, right? Especially if you've been doing this for 25 years, Wizards. Specifically.
Oh yeah, but I think that's a whole different thing. Like I think I think they're much happier to push something and have it bannable than be scared about doing it. But this
is all leading into the same thing, right? So when it comes down to it, everything is hinging on the fact that they're like a secondary market for anything contributes to the health of that thing. If there's no secondary market, then players start to leave. Now, I'm going to absolutely say this is why Dragon Ball Z died. Right? Score Z died because the secondary market became flooded with shit. Like, you had cards like Fatherly Advice, which were specifically a judge promo that you could not get, right? Score made the correct decision to start reprinting this particular Score promo, this judge promo, and giving it out at tournaments. But then they ended up printing it into Oblivion, which crashed the secondary market for those particular cards. Then they started doing it for everything. Then pennies to get cards. Then everyone could afford those decks, which is great. And I absolutely applaud the decision to make it so that everyone can have that top tier deck. The problem is they didn't do anything with the secondary market side of things, with the collector side of things, and it completely killed the market. If you take away something very specific in that platform, right, regardless of what the platform is when it comes to trading cards, it makes them worthless. Okay, it makes the secondary market flood, because then you have a whole bunch of people who are just offloading shit that they don't need, which is currently what we are actually seeing with Magic, for sure, right? Look at the Mystical Archives. There is, I think, 10 cards, roughly about 10 cards in Japanese foil that are above the $10 mark at this point, right? The rest of it's pretty much trash, because all of the people started going out and buying collector boxes because you had this. Because you had this like one big chase card, which, I mean, admittedly I hit, but there's a lot of people going out there buying it because they were like, all right, well, this is a collector's box. There's going to be really cool shit in here. Then when they realize that they can't make their money out of that box, they then flood the market with all of the shit they got out of the box, all the trash, right? And then all of a sudden the market is fucked. And then players are going to stick around if they're serious about the game, right? But other players who are there like trying to kind of do that secondary thing of like, yeah, I play Commander, but I don't need this shit that I got from Draft. But none of it's worth anything anyway. Those people then stop playing Draft. Because what's the point of me playing Draft if I'm paying like $35, $40 for a draft, and I can't get any return on that?
Yeah, there's no value left in what you're drafting.
There's different levels there's different elements of value there too. Draconic 367 says in chat too. It's like trust and like credibility in their printing process and having any kind of value attributed to a card. You're like, well,
I don't give about their printing process, right?
No, but it's like
I mean,
something to have quality to it. It's like, you know.
It's got to
know
start
that
from somewhere, right? Whether it's one or the other. If their cards were better quality and it's not something you had to battle constantly, of like trying to figure out how to straighten out your fucking deck of Pringles.
Yeah,
it's just one more thing, and no.
And it's much easier to put trust in that. Yeah, exactly.
Well, that being said, it's kind of hard to call it a collector item if it comes damaged.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That
Yeah,
would
yeah.
be my other point is the fact that like usually when you buy, let's take Commander Legends for example, buy a collector box of Commander Legends, and they're already coming out of the packs, fucking, you know.
Yeah, Brainstorm Brewery had a chat about that, whether you put them as lightly played and shit like that. You know, like it's interesting. Like you almost have to. It's just like that's problematic. But that's everyone's talked about that. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. But going back to my point, Wizards need to do better with what they consider their whale collector, and they need to reassess the data that they have, the shitty data that they have for whatever they think a fucking whale is, because Wizards, hey Wizards, how you doing? Don't cry, buddy. Wizards, let me explain what a whale is. Generally speaking, a whale is a collector who has very deep pockets, and they will absolutely pay for what the fuck they want.
All right.
Yeah.
To your point. All right. So these Commander Legends boosters were opened by me and put right back in the cases, and I haven't done anything with them.
It's a pack. Put
it right back in the pack. Right?
Brutal.
Right?
It doesn't feel like a collector's item.
You know, it's like, come on. What is this?
Like nothing about collector booster boxes feel like they were a collector's item.
I know. But like, yeah.
Well, Jeff's point is like regular product in general.
Yeah,
it's just
bang on Draconic in chat too. Yeah, I feel the same. They're the ones that it breaks the immersion is a theme I see there. Like you're like, cool. A lot of the times you've convinced yourself that you're going to spend $340 on like a thing. You're like, yeah, it's cool. Like all these possibilities could be this, and like you might not have been most stoked with it to begin with, and then depending on how the box goes, whatever. But as soon as you see all your things as Pringles, like that breaks immersion like nothing else.
Like, come on,
I really did. It just like it awakens you to go, well, I really did just pay $300+ on some Pringles.
Yeah, I paid $200 for a box of fucking Pringles.
It makes it all feel like cardboard, and it shouldn't. It should be magical,
perfectly flat.
Yay!
And then here's just like absolute bendage.
Exactly.
And I like how I'm using this as a perfect fit example.
yeah, exactly. But no, Chesh, all really good points, and I think to a greater understanding of the ecosystem probably than I ever have as well, which is great, and also like trying to see the telltale signs of anything like a game bursting at the seams if it's going to push to a direction it shouldn't, that kind of thing, like and being able to understand, like identify that, potentially jump a ship before that, or you just keep playing Commander like we do regardless if the game keeps getting printed, which I will always do. But like
one of the things, Sam, that I want to tag on here, and it's funny that you just said something that triggered this in my head.
Yeah.
You're selling a collector's booster, which is supposed to be a collector's item at fucking Walmart. Like
exactly.
I don't go to Walmart to buy a rare figure. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah,
I go to a hobby shop to buy something that's.
They're trying. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. They're just going to try and push whatever. But it's exactly like if that hurts the bottom line and the integrity, I think. Like anything, they have to see their bottom line affected, then they'll start make changes. And it's like, actually, that didn't. That's what I mean. Exactly. Like it's. They're like, no, just keep bashing against the wall. It's fine. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is there. Anyway, can we get excited about freak cards?
Let's talk about the real issue
here. Yeah, go.
Mortal Kombat.
Hell yeah. Exactly.
I'm sorry to derail the conversation. No. This was all really, really valid points. I I find myself, whenever I listen to you, Chesh, go on a rant, I just sit back and I'm like, everything you're saying, I got nothing to add because you're already going into one thing into another that I'm already going to address.
He's not talking to us. He's talking to the kind ether.
Yeah,
and it's like,
Funny
you do you, buddy.
One of the comments that we get about the Commander Crunch podcast a lot is like that people love it when I go off on a tangent rant because they're just
We get those comments. I'm not saying those.
I'm getting them if you care to have a look at Twitter. Yeah,
Far out.
I do love a rant. I do.
Yeah, me as well.
I think we all
Me
partake
as
in
well.
rants when we get to them. All right.
No, it's just,
That
very
being
well
said, we
spoken.
are halfway into our normal length here, not girth, but length.
boy.
And if we
And-
measure
and
the
or.
yaw, we need to do a tier list.
That's fair. That's fair. I think.
So
Enough blood
is there
has been shed
anything
in the
is there
Mortal
anything
Kombat
we want to
arena,
add
so.
to this before we move on?
All
to
right,
the
let me
list
open
for
it
today?
up.
Just check out the things that got that got kind of announced with the D&D cards and their Modern Horizons and just good stuff. We'll talk about it on Commander Crunch tomorrow.
Where's the tier list?
Just
Go for it,
Yeah.
Josh.
Is that I want to drop that. Hey, Wizards using the old border on fetch lands was a really fucking good idea. Maybe think about that because you understand somehow that people loved it in Time Spirals. You're doing it now, and then apply that secondary to collector boosters, and then take it a little further, and like maybe do something actually unique that collectors want to collect.
I mean, the expeditions were fucking great. So
Also, it turns out that Gavin Verhey's mirror universe evil twin got out of the well they tried to bury him in.
Wait, what?
Vavin Gearhay on Twitter is out, and he's he's running amok. So you might want to keep him in check.
Yeah.
Go check out Vavin Gearhay on
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Twitter.
I love it. I love it.
He's out. He got out.
Check that out.
right.
Well, yeah. As Brando said, we're gonna move on to a tier list because that's what we do. And what do we choose this week, dude?
all right. So this week, by unanimous vote,
man.
is 90s cartoons.
Unanimous. I didn't even vote.
And that's the best part.
Your opinion is null and void.
I think you literally got up to do something when we made this vote. I think it's like to put something in the microwave or to pee, and we just picked it.
Maybe both.
Also, this is one of my new favorite things. Just I'm playing with it, and I'm displaying, not brandishing. This is my Milwaukee.
A Milwaukee knife box.
I love
That's a
those.
serious
That's
box
a
cutter.
Milwaukee
$1
makes such great
cutter,
products.
yeah.
I've had
How
my
many boxes-
drill for like almost 6 years, and I treated it like a fucking goddamn piece of shit, and it fucking runs great.
And it just returned the favor. So how many boxes in a minute do you reckon you can cut there, Jeff?
Oh man,
Jeff could cut boxes.
The box per minute.
The BPM for this.
How many
this
BPMs
bad boy
on
right here.
bad boy?
Yeah, it's I don't know. Probably I could probably cut about 6 or 7 boxes per minute.
Oh, I like it.
Damn.
Has the blade
it's
retraction.
beautiful.
Good safety features.
It's got great.
Does
safety
it
features.
retract when it gets next to a sausage?
No, it does not.
It senses the flesh.
There's saw blades that have safety implementations.
That's
yeah,
what I'm
they
talking
do.
about. Yeah.
Hey, G3, I did not make that Twitter account. Vavin Gearhay made that Twitter account. That is a true blue mirror universe evil twin of
Bizarro.
Gavin Gearhay. Bizarro Gavin Gearhay is Vavin Gearhay, and he's running amok. I did not
love
make that
it.
profile.
All right. First show.
Yeah. Also, G3, stick around because I've got a lot of love for you at the end of the show. So,
It's very obvious. Like the person who made
wrong places.
the person who made the account literally said who they were. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I love G3 because his head is like he's
Wait,
one of the he's one of the smartest people I know, but he's one of the most gullible people that I know too. So his head is just like this empty field of just wonderment and beauty. It's just he's just constantly. You can literally be like, "I did this," and he'll be like, "What did you?"
Stop it, Brandon. That is not
exactly. All right. We're jumping into team.
You're just moving
you're just moving tasks, bro. Whoa. No, leave. Chesh, did you say leave Batman in S tier? So is that Batman animated?
The animated series, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I believe that was really good.
Which I will tell everyone, if you don't know the story behind Batman the Animated Series, definitely go and hunt it down. You should be able to find it on YouTube or something like that. Just look up I think it should be under the story of Batman the Animated Series, how it started. It's interesting because it wasn't meant to technically happen, and the original voice for Batman was like, "Nah, fuck off," and that's how Kevin Conroy came in, and they were like, "Oh, you are definitely Batman."
The Batman animated series, easy as big part of my childhood. I was a huge Batman fan as a kid.
Also, Mark Hamill is an amazing voice actor.
Come on, that's you don't even need to say that.
But also, like, check out. There's a couple of Studio Ghibli movies with him doing voice acting for, like, Laputa. Some of my favorites all time.
Every Joker.
I'm the Joker, baby.
I'm the Joker, baby. Every Joker is going to live in the shadow of Mark Hamill's Joker. That's just a fact. Yeah, that's just a fact.
Amen.
Teenage
just 90s cartoons is the category.
This is A tier for me.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think it's
because let's be honest, like, the animation style was janky, and if you look at it now, it looks horrible. Compare it to Batman, where Batman is smooth. Ninja Turtles was actually missing frames. For anyone who doesn't know, go back and rewatch it, and you'll notice it's actually missing quite a few frames, which is why it makes you feel a little bit weird
and so it should. It's set in a sewer, so all good.
Yeah,
it's on theme.
God, I gotta put it B because of that, and not only that, like, go back and watch TMNT. It's not as good as you remember it.
Turtles in a half shell.
But still very fun.
Yes.
Still, April O'Neil is on the top of my would absolutely fuck list. Thank you.
I don't know if this counts as 90s, but this is Bionicle, if anyone recognizes.
Oh, Bionicle.
D.
Bionicle. Okay, all right. So I begrudgingly agree with Shesh. It was not a good animated series. However, the product line and the promotional CD that it came with all the lore, that is S tier. But the show itself,
and sadly we're not ranking that. But I agree with you there. For sure. For sure. Don't tell him fuck off. Just tell him that, like, yes, your point is valid, and I reminisce with Jeff.
Well, wait, do you know?
Agree? We're going to chuck the show on the D.
Do you know the deep lore behind Bionicle?
Yes, we got there. There was no
fucking tournament, so you can.
No, there was no tournament, but the guy who made Bionicle was like, he made it as like an allegory to him, like, fighting cancer. Really? And it is, and when you take that in the context,
I'm sorry. To quote a very famous person I know, "Fuck lore."
No, I never said that. I actually never said that. I actually never said. But honestly, like, the show was bad. So yeah.
It was atrocious. I tried watching it with my nephew, and it was just, I could not get through 5 minutes of it, and he loved every second. So I don't know how that works out, but I hated it.
Like you say, Jeff, product line was awesome. The actual Legos it came with, so sick. And they came with a can.
If I remember, it was after the release of Technics too, right? So it used a lot of the Technics pieces.
It was almost like. Yeah, exactly. It was more of a Technic set and everything. And then I can't remember who said it. Was it Max or someone said they wanted Bionicle as a Universes Unbound or whatever magic thing is, like, property. That would be pretty wacky.
I fucking love 40K. Warhammer 40K, but I am terrified of what they're gonna do to it in the Magic universe.
I know. Yeah, watch this space. Speaking of, how would you like Super Mario and your magic?
Let's get through that. Super Mario. The Mario show is it's like as for the memes, but like both of the shows were very very bad.
I would put them both at B.
Very.
That's a hard one, isn't it?
D.
It's a balance.
They're both hard D. They're bad shows.
Actually bad. Yeah. S for the memes. I agree.
Yeah, the memes are great though. The memes are great.
Okay, so
because don't they address that like that is actually Toad's hat or his hair?
Yes.
Like, that's the greatest debate. Like,
just so everyone knows, if you're unfamiliar, not just you guys here, but just everyone else listening in general, the original Super Mario Bros. The Mario Bros. Show is the one with the live action and then goes into the animation, and the Super Mario Bros. I think is the one that is just pure animation. So there's a difference between the two, and the one this is the older looking animation is the original Mario Bros. And then this is Super. If I remember correctly. So just so everyone else knows that there's two of them here specifically because they were two different unique shows.
Both go in D.
Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, top tier meme content. Absolutely.
No. I fucking love the memes. All right, Rocket Power.
Oh, Rocket Power.
Rocket Power.
I was getting into skating when this came out, and it was kind of an analog for like just enjoying skating culture and all that crap, even though it was very unrealistic because it was a cartoon. But I don't know, I appreciated it.
I give it B personally.
I'll give it
B. I'll give it an A too. I think.
Chesh?
Solid.
Never watched it.
Okay, so
really cool.
We're gonna put it in B.
All right.
There's a Sam in there too, so he's pretty good. Johnny Bravo is next.
S tier.
Okay. All right, so we're going to be very very strict with our rating since there is only 5 of them now instead of like the ridiculous.
Oh, I haven't watched and all that stuff. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Johnny Bravo is going to be a B for me or a C.
I'm in C. I'm not the biggest fan. I know that kills some people.
It kind of rewards and encourages toxic masculinity. I know I'm using those scary feminist words, but like honestly, it's not a good look when we reward characters for bad behavior.
But he doesn't get rewarded. He's constantly
but he's still. But the thing is, the whole like he gets beat up and all that yada yada yada, but he's still seen as this like charismatic, cool, sexy guy, and
but he never gets the girl. Like he fails at it so much.
That's still the whole point of the show is that he's a mama's boy. He's like a greaser, like 50s. Like I blame Johnny Bravo for the horrible, the worst parts of the what do you call it? Not steampunk, not the steampunk culture, but the what am I talking about? The rockabilly culture.
Oh,
I actually like rockabilly, so I.
Draconic. I said is Johnny a Chad?
You're not listening to me. I said the worst parts of the rock.
No, I know. I heard you.
Yeah, you do a very selective hearing whenever you're addressing my.
When it comes to Johnny Bravo, yeah, I have very selective hearing.
Well, yeah.
No, just in general, but
right.
yeah,
I'm fucking shit up.
No.
Okay,
all right. So
where
I'm
you
going to
sitting,
say
Josh?
something here, and that is that I like Johnny Bravo about as much as I like Elvis Presley. Now, if you don't know the history of Elvis Presley, have a look up who his first wife was and what age she was when he met her.
Okay. Should I address your T-shirt here?
D.
Oh, brutal. All right. Well, I guess that puts it at a C.
Yeah, that's a C. That's a C. I would just like I gotta say, like a lot of the Cartoon Network stuff, I was like, it was just a touch down generally, like in my enjoyment. But I don't know. I could never really rationalize why. Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold. Easy S.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, it's an A.
It's
for me.
an
It's
it's
an
an
A for
S
me.
or an A. I might even put. I'm going to put it at S, and I know it won't. It'll make it to A anyway. But yeah, it was an
simply
S.
because it taught very, very good lessons, and the animation was great. Voice acting was great.
His
Tons of
bedroom was
memorable lines.
exceptional.
His bedroom was
A
envy
dream.
of every kid. Yeah,
Yeah,
I wanted
exactly.
that couch. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. I see you nodding your head over there, Church, but seriously,
I just
hey,
find
Arnold.
it boring. Fine, so it's an A.
I love boring shit.
Yeah, me too. But my favorite ones here always have a je ne sais quoi. They got like a vibe to them. They have something you can't explain why it was just effective. And like one of my favorite ones is that show Arthur. Friggin' Arthur rocks, and Arthur was for a younger audience. I don't care. It's just like there's something about it. The stories
The
they told,
memes that came out of that though for Arthur.
that too as well. He's like at the fist.
I don't know. Hey Arnold just taught really, really wholesome values.
That's
and I appreciate it.
exactly.
With-
like stoop kids are afraid to leave you stoop and stuff.
While being entertaining, and they even had Jewish representation in there. So let's go.
Exactly. And me and my friend would do the thing all the time, the little thumb.
Exactly.
So this next one, there's a bit of a clarification here that I want to make with us.
Tiny Toons.
Yeah, this is Tiny Toons, not Looney Tunes, and I don't see Looney Tunes on this anywhere.
Tiny Toons, I'll put it at a C. It never really hit me. Yeah.
Well, the question is, do we want to make them both Tiny Toons and Looney Tunes as one? Since I don't see Looney Tunes anywhere.
Okay. Let's just
I see the Animaniacs.
Tiny Toons. Let's just null Tiny Toons and just say that's the Looney Tunes then.
Okay.
And Looney Tunes is definitely an A.
Yeah, A for sure, for me.
And personally.
So we're ranking this as Looney Tunes and not Tiny Toons?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because there's no Looney Tunes here.
Was Looney Tunes 80s?
Probably.
I mean, technically speaking, wasn't Looney Tunes 70s?
Okay, if we're ranking this as Tiny Toons, then Tiny Toons, I'm putting in a C or a D.
I'd give it D if it's Tiny Toons.
It's Tiny Toons, C or D. That's D. I'm fine with the D.
D for me, not a massive.
Looney Tunes was from 1930 to 1969.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so it's Tiny Toons. Yeah.
This is Tiny Toons and it's a D.
Chippendale.
This is a solid A for me. I really like it, but it's not an S for me.
Didn't really watch it.
I didn't really watch it either. I remember it, but like...
Yeah, I remember it. Didn't really watch it.
So 1A, 1B, where do we want to put this?
I'll just put it in B, I guess. Yeah. B's fine. B.
Batman. Tomorrow.
Batman Beyond.
Oh, Beyond.
Incredible.
Oh, this one's good.
Batman Beyond is incredible. Yeah,
I'm going to say S tier for me.
Yeah, S.
So
S.
it has a different name depending on where you are.
Interesting. We got a lot of these that regional names were different.
Yes, and that's what I was about to point out. So Batman Beyond for you guys was actually Batman...
something tomorrow,
Batman
I think, internationally.
Tomorrow? Yeah. It was weird. Or
Batman Forever?
No.
No.
Different one.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to remember.
They did have it called something else. I think it was something tomorrow, I think was the alternate name.
It was...
Tomorrow or something like that. It was something really stupid.
Yeah.
And I the reason
known as hold on. Batman of the Future?
Yeah, Batman of the Future.
There you go.
Yeah.
Not tomorrow. I'm sorry.
I think it said Batman of the Future, and then you grab.
That just sounds weird, doesn't it? Batman of the Future. It's like
sense.
spelling it out for you. I'm Sub-Zero. Yeah.
I'm not the brother.
No, he literally says that in the movie, but whatever.
I'm Sub-Zero. Yeah, like there's that in the trailer threw me off. I'm like, really? We know.
I think I know why. Beyond 2000.
Yeah, gotcha. I remember that. Okay.
All right, still very good.
So was it a conflict of interest then?
And I think it was a conflict of interest thing.
Yeah,
where they were like basically threatened them, just saying, you can't call it that, and they went, fuck it, we'll just call it Batman of the Future. We don't care.
I haven't heard of that show in years, Chesh. That's awesome. That was the shit. That was a good time. That was predicting the future.
All right.
Shit, I was in school.
I never saw this show.
Beetlejuice. Loved the show as a kid.
And I would kill myself.
The animation was amazing. Sometimes the voice acting was pretty obnoxious. The first crush I ever had was on Wednesday Addams, so I'm a little biased.
You know what? Yep. I'll admit that.
Yeah, because I watched the original TV show as a kid as well, and I was like, "Oh, this girl's really cute."
She was just cool. She was super cool. Didn't give a shit. Like it's so. Exactly. I was like, whoa.
I fucking loved Wednesday Addams as a kid. First crush.
I'm sorry, I'm not super relevant on Beetlejuice, but wasn't Wednesday Addams from the Addams Family?
Yeah. Or sorry, not Wednesday. Yes, you're absolutely right. Same character though, basically is.
Okay. I was very confused.
Amelia, sorry, my bad. Yeah, so I didn't even remember. Same character basically though. It is. She's the same character.
All right. So what do you want to rate it at? Because I don't have a rating here because I've never.
I don't know. I don't remember too much of it. I just remember the animation, and I went back and watched some of the animation not too long ago, just because nostalgia's sake. The animation is incredible, but again, it's very obnoxious and pretty by the beats. I mean, B or C.
Yeah. By the beats, little juice.
Yeah.
B or C. Yeah, I'll check and see from what I remember.
Chesh?
C.
All right. C it is.
Bobby's World.
Bobby's World. I would give it a C. His voice killed me. Like I had a hard time listening to his voice all the time.
I can say I never watched this.
Fucking.
Is it a? Yeah, good.
Obnoxious.
On that note, I'm deeply affected by obnoxious voices.
Okay, so I'm gonna give it a D. Sam.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't watch it, so yeah.
Okay. Sure, whatever. C or C. I'll just give it a little bit more respect. C. I'll put it in C.
Okay, Chesh.
Solid D.
Okay, so two D's and a B. We'll just put it in C, just out of Jeff's respects.
It was inventive at least. I never watched it.
Tailspin, yes. Fucking love Tailspin. S tier for me.
What? Really? You're gonna put it as good as Batman Beyond?
It's Tailspin. How could you not?
What the fuck, Brandon?
Dude, I watched this show. I played the game on Sega Genesis. I just recently rewatched this whole entire show about 3 years ago.
All right, sure. I mean, maybe it's better than our. Well, like I said, I never really watched it, so sure, maybe it is that good, but I highly doubt it.
If you're really bored, which I don't think you are, you should go watch it. It's on the server.
All right, but whatever.
A tier for Chesh?
I don't remember it much.
All right, well, it's gonna go. Then.
I'm gonna tell you, but it was very entertaining.
It is a lot of fun.
Very
sure.
It's got pirates. It's got air pirates. He surfs in the air. He throws berries at people's faces. Like it doesn't sound as exciting as maybe I'm making it out to be. But it was very adventurous, and they had a lot of good innuendos in there that didn't take it too far, which was entertaining for adults.
So Johnny Quest, I don't remember. I remember watching it, and it wasn't that great.
I remember watching it.
It wasn't that great. It never caught my attention as a kid, and that says a lot.
That's a
I was like, this is lame.
I love it. The theme tonight has been how astute you are as an 8-year-old. You can actually pass pretty sophisticated judgment on things. Dang, that's pretty lame. Poor plot choices. Yeah.
Johnny Quest is the type of cartoon. Now, I'm going to cause everyone to cast their minds back to the movie Big with Tom Hanks.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And the particular scene of Tom Hanks questioning why the building turns into a robot and the robot turns into a building and why is that fun?
Yeah.
This fucking cartoon is made by the same dickhead who made that robot that turns into a building.
Yeah, I agree. It's
just
by
terrible grab at fucking merchandise.
Boardroom committee type shit. Yeah,
all right. So let's
Chesh, I love that scene so much. I love that scene so much. He's just but why is that fun? It's a building. And he's like, but the stats say it's what's gonna be, and he's like, but it's a freaking building. That's not fun.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. Chuck it in D. Be gone with you, Johnny Quest.
I
All right.
love Big. Side note as such a important movie to watch every now and then.
Really?
Darkwing
Dangle?
Duck, A tier.
Darkwing Duck. Don't remember much, but from what I do remember, I really enjoy. So I'm good with A or B.
Yeah. Big is problematic, Sam.
I know, but it's very problematic. But it's like, no, the message of like, just like creatively, don't. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But like, it's like,
Biggest,
I'd still go him, and I did. Darkwing
biggest
Duck.
very-
I
Exactly.
liked Darkwing Duck because it wasn't fucking Daffy Duck.
Mhm.
It was my first introduction to a non-Daffy Duck character from Warner Brothers, to be honest. So I think this for me is a solid A, just simply because they were obviously trying to kind of do Batman, but like a bit more hard, jokey,
Comedy,
rather than,
yeah.
too serious.
yeah.
Where
They
the
had those
sidekick was
dark-
actually doing all the fucking work.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like Daffy Duck Noir. So yeah,
Yeah.
No, I remember some of the toys and stuff I had is rad. And I remember when McDonald's did their Happy Meals with it
I had
as
his
well, and it was-
motorcycle when I was growing up.
Yeah,
Darkwing Duck
I thought about
motorcycle.
us. I reckon solid A too. Like, just really
We're
enjoying
about
it.
to see the age gap here, by the way. If people hadn't noticed already, I've got about 10 years on all these guys. So
Ah,
Dexter's Laboratory. I love this show.
It's a B tier
I'm
for
gonna-
me.
I'm gonna put it in an A. Solid
I'm-
A for me.
I know it's good. I just probably didn't enjoy it as much as everyone else. And it's like, again,
I-
maybe the Cartoon Network thing. So I reckon B as well, Brandon.
for me, this is a C, and I'm going to explain why.
Ooh.
Johnny
Ah,
right? Now, before you say anything, the secondary counter to that, before anyone tries to argue,
No, I'm questioning.
fucking DD. This is a C.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nah,
The voice,
come
or-
on.
the character?
Yeah, the DD.
Just in
voice, the
general.
character,
Yeah.
like the whole
It wa-
encompassing
it wa-
character was great.
A few of us are
and
pretty
constant-
sensitive to voices around here, I think.
Dee was a foil to his.
I was about to say she was his hard counter.
Yeah. She was the foil to his supreme genius. It was amazing.
Exactly.
It's shit.
All right.
If
Okay.
they did a reboot, if they ever did a reboot, we already know who would play DD in a reboot, don't we?
But okay, but still, disregarding Dee, excellent animation, amazing music and sound design. You can watch it as an adult and still have fun.
Still a C for me. I don't.
All right. Doug.
I'm sorry, Doug is 100% like 95 for me. It is like A tier, just solid A tier. It's right in the middle of
solid
A
A,
tier
yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Solid A for me as well.
It's one of the excellent ones, like a little bit more sophisticated. Like I felt
Yeah.
as far as cartoons go. No, enjoyed the crap out of it, and also just completely distinct animation style and everything too. I love
I
it.
can
Characters,
hear
absolutely,
Chesh
yeah.
grinding his gears over there.
Why don't you like Doug? What's your issue with
Yeah.
Doug?
What did Doug do to
Does
you?
anyone up?
I don't
Huh?
know.
Great. This is a C for me.
Does anyone what? I didn't hear the question.
Too
Good,
late. You
Chesh.
missed the joke.
I'm sorry, I missed it.
All right, so
All right, so and it had Mr. Dink, which stands for dual income, no kids. All right.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
That was,
Mr.
I
Dink.
forgot about that acronym. It was totally a thing. Yeah.
all right.
Nice.
So this is another one of my favorites with Scrooge McDuck.
DuckTales.
For me, this
DuckTales.
is S tier personally.
Mm,
I'm gonna say it's an A.
I'm an A.
Leaning towards it. Now I'll explain why. Because anytime that you put a superhero unicycle fucking character into an animated series
yeah.
is just brilliant. Especially when it was parodying kind of RoboCop mixed with, hey, this isn't actually RoboCop. This is our own thing. But you can tell the helmet is heavily designed around RoboCop. And it was just like, look, the whole thing of like the Scrooge McDuck side, the fact that you had, McQuack or whatever the fuck his name was. Yeah, look, this is a solid A for me. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, solid A.
Yeah, me too.
Very,
Yeah.
Very
I think
good.
we were
Yeah.
all around there.
It was
Yeah, I'm
really
saying.
good when you were stoned as fuck.
So with all the rich characters going towards S tier, yeah, you got a point. I don't know. We'll get there. I think.
Ed and Eddie.
Wait.
S,
Before we go to Ed,
S and Essie.
let me before we
S,
go to the
S.
next show, I just want to say that when I was growing up, my grandma actually went and bought the comics for the Uncle Scrooge series, and I read the comics that were like this big. They're like graphic novels, and they're huge, and they're from like the 60s and 70s. And I was reading those growing up as a kid before the show ever came into fruition. So when the show came into fruition, I exploded with joy, and it was like the best moment of my life. So my bias is like because I had a lot more experience like with the graphic novels.
So Brandon's basically saying Brandon is absolutely accustomed to the deep lore of Scrooge McDuck.
Deep lore of Scrooge McDuck. Yeah. And it's
There was no tournament.
his McDuck.
Wait. They did have a tournament arc in the. They did Scrooge McDuck, Future of Tomorrow or Tomorrow. Well, now I got to look up the title. It actually has the word future in it.
Let's not. All right,
Brandon, quote unquote, read the manga as it were. Exactly. Wow.
All right, Ed and Eddie. Before we get to
S.
I'm gonna say A, but I love the fan theories that came out of it.
Ed, Edd n Eddy had such unique animation. It was fun, very memorable. You go back and watch it as an adult and still have fun. It's amazing. I love Ed, Edd n Eddy.
It's about as funny as Dogecoin.
Hey, I made $3,000 on Dogecoin, so that's pretty funny.
Did you? Made by an Australian. Yeah.
I found this Dumb and Dumber, which is hilarious because I actually got to meet the voice cast and the creator of Ed, Edd n Eddy a couple of years ago, and I had to fucking lie to them and tell them that I loved their work. I was
Cold.
that had me interview. So
For shame.
This is absolute D for me. I fucking
Wow.
hate it.
Wow.
Damn.
Why? It's
dumb.
Yes.
It's like, comedy, it's hilarious. It's like, no, it's just like three dumb dudes doing dumb shit. Like,
yes, that's why it's fun.
Yeah, exactly right. Sometimes that's what you need. I didn't watch much. Again, it's Cartoon Network property. I kind of probably just veered away from this one on account of I probably already made up my mind with the animation style. I'm like, oh, it's probably not for me. So I can't actually even say I've watched enough to make a
Okay,
make a
so I
mark.
have an
So
S, an A,
average
and a
those.
D, so we're gonna put it in B.
Sounds
Sure.
good.
Rugrats.
Rugrats, we're here.
So
We're here.
I loved Rugrats, and I also hated it at the same time.
Me
There's
too.
bits I hate about it too.
But I want to talk about an interesting lore about Ed, and Eddie, a fan theory. Sorry, not lore. Fan
That they're
theory.
all ghosts.
Deep-
Yeah, let's
deep
get over
lore.
it.
No lore. I used the wrong word. I'm sorry. It's
Yeah.
just
They
a
didn't
fan
have a
theory.
tournament.
It's
Yeah,
just
all
a
the
fan
kids
theory.
are dead.
All the kids are dead,
Yeah.
And the
Whoa.
parents don't exist, and every time one of them disappears or leaves the block, they're moving on.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. It's sure. Whatever.
All right.
I love
Rugrats.
theories like that. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
Rugrats. Yeah, it has its own merit, but we're trying to move on. Rugrats. Very good animation. Some of the most depressing episodes I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my god, yeah. and not to mention unnerving too, like which in a way that cartoons can do. Like they just like how much did you never want to eat a watermelon after like it sprouted trees in Chucky's stomach? Like you're like,
Well,
nope.
remember when
Story
Chucky
about-
wishes he was never born? That shit was
Yeah.
bad.
The one where he wished his parents weren't fighting anymore. That one was brutal. And then they made memes out of it, and it was just like even worse. And I'm just like,
Here we go.
well,
Hey, Sam, what happens when you eat a quarter of a watermelon?
A quarter of a watermelon?
Yeah.
You just piss like a racehorse, right?
get
No,
dehydrated.
it acts
Right?
like a lax-
Oh, really? Yeah. It does the. I've heard someone say that.
Wait, it acts like
I
a
know this
what?
from experience on the way to school.
It's what? Sorry.
So I know this from experience on the way to school. like
Oh,
walking
no.
to school. So if you think sprouting trees in your stomach is bad enough from watermelon, there's worse out there.
Wait. So
There
what?
is
What
not.
happened? You cut out when you were saying it. Wait. What happens if you eat a quarter of a watermelon?
It acts like a laxative.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it because you're overhydrating? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The fruit really hates you, Chesh.
Stay away from fucking fruit.
So,
All right. So where do we
put
want to put this?
I'm gonna put it in the S.
I'm gonna say
I think it still doesn't-
B.
Based on how much I watched it and appreciated everything, I think I'm an S still too.
Look, I watched it a hell of a lot, and I was very, very into it. Even though it did grate on my nerves. There's like certain episodes I just absolutely knew were coming up, and I just switch over to something else. So this for me is more an A. Even though I really did appreciate like what they were going for. Some of the stuff with what's her name in Cynthia.
Yeah.
Whatever her name was.
Some of the kids' voices were pretty obnoxious.
Yeah.
But no, you're absolutely right.
Lasky Stupo for their like amazing intro music.
Oh my god,
yeah.
So yes, that's what I want to talk about. So do you mean the theme music or their actual production one?
Music,
Yeah, because their actual the logo at the end or whatever, or the start, that one amazing. I wanted to bring up, did Erin bring this up on the podcast, Chesh? Mark from Devo did the theme song.
Oh wow.
And it's so weird and just like distorted and cool and like I love it that it again like a bit like the way I appreciate Doug. It just hit on a different axis. It was doing stuff no one else was doing. Or like the animation was all like the graphics were all like wonky and weird, and I loved that.
Yes, the animation was incredible. The sound design was awesome. The music was great.
Exactly.
And some episodes that will stick with you till your dying day.
Yeah, totally. Exactly right. It's like you say, sound design needs a lot of the credit. Like it's little things like those little like barriers for babies, like the noises they would make, and like it's just I don't know how to kind of rationalize those, but they were incredible. Yeah, S tier for me.
Courage,
the cowardly dog.
dog.
I'm gonna put this in solidly in S.
Same.
Super creative, fun. Every episode is its own thing.
Different on so many levels.
Very memorable. Amazing. Huh?
I'm gonna show my age. I fucking hated this.
Why?
I would switch to something else. I just couldn't stand it.
I reckon it's one too. Like this kind of, I don't know, maybe it's the animation. I wasn't a Ren and Stimpy fan either. Like controversial, I know, but like maybe it's the, I don't know. There's something. There's a quality I'm trying to unravel why I didn't like this as well. I didn't.
It sounds like you guys grew up as some wholesome bitches.
Maybe.
No, I mean like the show was super wholesome, man. Like
I'm just making fun of both of them because seemingly they seem to coordinate their hatred for certain shows.
Not necessarily, because this one I still don't think I've watched enough to give it a vote though. Like I just remember seeing it on Cartoon Network, and then probably like unfairly passing judgment based on what I thought the animation style was as a really otherworldly like 8-year-old going.
There's a lot of different kinds of animation in the show.
Totally.
To be
and
fair,
that's the whole thing. I'm judging a book by its cover.
I think what Courage did that other shows didn't do, which is why I appreciated it so much, is they didn't follow the same plot points or I guess aggregate for the show as what they normally would see in like other shows. Sure, they saw the same message at the end, but it did not follow anything close to what you see in the regular
which I always
shows.
appreciate.
Which happened. It was just totally they had segments where it's like a dystopian future and he's just trying to get a fucking sandwich. Like it was crazy. It was a lot of fun, but
it's like some Rick and Morty stuff. Like it
was very off the wall, very creative.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
All right, so we got 2 S's, a D, and Sam, what did you say?
Yeah, I'm not going to vote because I don't think I watched enough of it, but it actually sounds like something I should go and visit again.
Okay, so we're going to go A, right? 2 S's and a D, that comes out to an A? Or is it a B average?
That's a B average.
B average, okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Or B
As Rick was saying, like sometimes there's things you just can't stand. Is this Gargoyles?
I love this S tier.
Gargoyles is awesome. Gargoyle. It was a show made to sell toys. I'm gonna throw that.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but that was freaking
Yeah.
effective for me.
I
And
mean,
love it. They were usually toys I couldn't have either, so I was just like enticed.
cool concept. I'll give it a C.
What's that, Chesh?
This was a whole heap of the Star Trek Next Generation cast. So this for me is an A.
Ooh, I like it.
The other thing too is it is the same animation style as Batman.
Yeah, the animation was really good.
Aesthetic is sweet. I like A for that.
I watched it. It was fun. Sure. I got no strong opinions on Gargoyles other than and I don't remember much of them.
I also just like to see some darker palettes as well. Maybe that's the Darkwing Duck thing. Like it's just nice. What's that, Chesh?
Can we call this by its real name?
What's that?
What's that?
Mouse Conspiracy.
Wow.
Anyone who remembers, this was their like really fucking cool, hip yo, down with the kids. Hi, I'm Disney. We love Mickey Mouse. Right,
yo.
Kid?
I remember that.
And let's all be really cool. This is a fucking day. This was hard.
I remember that era of Disney too, and I never watched anything from that era really. So
bad.
Yeah,
where they were just like trying to be hip with the kids. Let's get down.
I'm gonna be honest. I never seen this show. I thought it was a Goofy movie.
A Goofy movie was incredible, but I never watched the series, so I don't have an opinion on this. I'm sure it was bad.
I distinctly remember the feeling of lame, and it's not for me. So,
all right, D.
I'm with you, Chesh.
Sonic the Hedgehog. I never seen the animated series. So I'm sorry.
He's got some fan art.
If you notice, there's.
Did you say go to DeviantArt?
No. Yes.
If you notice, there's 2 Sonic shows in here, right? And I think this is I think this is a clip from the movie, if I'm correct, because I know there was 2 shows, right? Okay, so the one on the right,
Where's the second one? I can't see it.
The newer one I remember liking a lot. The older one I didn't watch too much. I remember watching a movie when I was a kid, a Sonic movie that was fucking awesome. It was like Sonic. It was Metal Sonic, right? He had to fight Metal Sonic, and it had
Mario,
the little Sneedly guy or whatever. That was fun, but I never really cared too much for the show.
That wasn't the one where he was constantly using the word "dude," was it?
No. Oh,
Chili
wait a minute.
dogs.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So there's Sonic, the original, like Sonic the Animated Series, which is this one, and Sonic, not Generations, but it was like Sonic. It's the one with they got the green guy with the guitar.
So it looks like
the green guy with the guitar was rad.
Yeah,
I made that guy in art class out of clay.
Okay, so this is what I'm seeing it as. This is the original Sonic the Hedgehog, and then this is Sonic Underground.
Yeah,
and Underground started in '99.
Yeah, I remember watching that. Sonic Underground was kind of rad.
I honestly, wherever you put them, I'm fine. I'm just they're not D. They're not D for me. That's all. They're certainly not S.
I haven't seen either personally. I haven't seen either, so it's up to you guys.
They're probably a solid C, just to be.
Both of them. Let's just chuck them both in C.
I'm sorry, Chesh. What did you rate them as?
They're both pretty.
Okay.
Pretty average.
Exactly.
Animaniacs. I grew up watching the shit out of this. When I look back on it now, I realize how insanely violent it was and how it didn't shape anything in my childhood. So I'm still gonna give it a
There's a lot of shit in Animaniacs, and I stress for people to go back and watch this if you haven't, with your adult eyes, that you missed it. That is just like holy shit. Like one of them goes to commit suicide at one point.
You can't do that.
Another one goes to fucking murder somebody. Like there is in here that was buried that once you look at it as an adult, you go, what the fuck?
Yeah.
How did you make it?
I remember the episode where they're just like, oh, well, we'll just kill him. And then they just went off and tried to take him out. They didn't actually kill him. But, I mean, it was super just direct, and I was just like, oh.
I remember there was a joke, like exactly. There was a joke in Animaniacs where it's like, did you get the fingerprints? And like Dot is holding Prince, the artist, and it's like fingerprints or something like that. And it's like, she's like, nah.
It's a solid A for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then it's like, whoa.
That's some Mighty Boosh level, like funny, like pun, like visual pun shit. Like that's fantastic. Yeah, and it's the duality. Like you could it's throwaway. That could mean nothing to people, but it's like when it does, it hits.
It's like,
amazing.
geez.
Yeah,
sure.
It's all right. I think A is good.
Yeah, Pinky and there.
A.
Yeah, A as well.
Ahead of its time.
Fantastic Four. Absolute trash.
Four.
Yeah, throw it.
Garbage.
I'm gonna say something about
Garbage man.
People need to know about Marvel and Fox during this particular age. After the X-Men animated series debuted and was extremely good and captured the hearts and minds of all children, literally.
Of course,
all
children.
Marvel were trying to push other shit, such as the Fantastic Four, as I like to call it, Fan-Four-Stick, because it's just as bad as the new movie, into the limelight. But they didn't actually push this one through Fox from memory, or there was something wrong with the animation company they were using, because the animation on this was tragically bad. Every single story in this was like, think of which one am I trying to say?
Didn't 4Kids do this? Oh, now I gotta look this up.
Yeah, actually, I think it was 4Kids. Which is surprising because a lot of the other stuff they were doing at the time was actually really good. But this was... Marvel had special sanctions on Fantastic Four of what could and couldn't be done. And it led to the Fantastic Four just coming off like they do in the comics. Like old comics, if you haven't read any of the 80s comics for the Fantastic Four, please go back and read them. They're really fucking
Philippine
bad.
Animation Studios. Not even 4Kids. Wow.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. This was really bad. This was a horrible show.
It was terrible, yeah. I remember it being absolute trash. And that being said, the next one in line is another Marvel one. And honestly, I was super hyped for Iron Man, but the way that it just was presented was just so bad. I'm sorry. It's another D for me.
Never watched it. I'm not interested.
I'll explain why this is so bad. The animation was better in this. Absolutely. But everything else was terrible. Yeah. Especially the fact that it was like based around like the Mandarin for most of the part. Which they keep going back to for some reason in Iron Man animated shit. They keep going back to the Mandarin, and it was just horrible. Like it was clear that this was the kind of like the 80s/90s. I want to just feed coke up my nose. Can you keep buying these toys so I can keep getting high? Because this was...
Yeah, this is Rainbow Animation Studios in Korea.
Fuck that, Cindy. Biker cats from Mars.
Biker mice from Mars.
Biker mice from Mars.
And that's not even what this is. This is the Tasmanian Devil.
Wait. No. Oh wait. Hold on. The picture is very fucking blurry.
Yeah, I get it.
No, it does look. Hold on. Is Biker mice from Mars not on this?
I don't see it.
Are you serious?
I see Street Sharks, but I don't see Biker Mice from Mars.
Yeah, that was the closest one I thought.
Okay, so Tasmanian Devil, Biker Mice from Mars, Street Sharks, all of them garbage. D. They're made to sell toys.
They're great memes in a weird way. Exactly.
I loved the Biker Mice from Mars series.
Well, your brain is akin to a bowl of Jello with some marbles in it, Brandon.
Exactly. Do you remember that?
That's true. I'm not going to take that away from you.
Was that the slime promotion?
Huh? You loved it.
No, haven't gone back and watched it.
Biker Mice from Mars or the Tasmanian Devils?
Biker Mice from Mars.
So what? Oh no! What's it like now?
It's horrible.
I'm not surprised. It was there to sell toys. What do they do? Do they?
No, that's a cash grab. This makes no sense. The plot is shit. The evil character being like a big fat, or I should say, a short fat rodent, basically.
I resent that remark.
Look, I'm not saying you resemble this fat rodent, but you can if you wish to.
I'm short, I'm fat, and I'm rodent-like. All right.
I'm rodent-like.
No, it's just a really fucking poorly written series. But going back on point, this particular, yo, homie, what up? We're Warner Brothers and we're fucking cool, yo.
We ride motorbikes. Hell yeah.
As well, so
Tasmanian, fuck that. D.
I just remember the kids at school that had the Bike Fights from Mars toys, and their parents bought them everything they wanted.
We're talking about Tasmanian Devil, which is on the same.
I know, but I just want to add that
you know what, Jeff?
I was on the periphery.
I'm double checking because you might be right. Because although it looks like the Tasmanian, here I'll take a screenshot, and it looks like the Tasmanian Devil, but as I look at it, I don't recognize the outfit. And that's what's throwing me off now.
I'm pretty sure it was either there was another one about cats, and the fact that we can't even fucking remember what show this is.
Man.
Samurai Pizza Cats is like way up here. But
it's excellent show. Like
the entire cast was blasted when they were recording the voice acting.
Here's the funny thing about Samurai Pizza Cats. Samurai Pizza Cats is absolutely not what you fucking think it is.
Oh.
Because Samurai Pizza Cats was re-recorded with new pieces and was completely recut. It is a completely different thing overseas.
Oh, I knew that. I absolutely knew that. And I remember there was a story. I watched an interview with Steve Blum. And he says something. He mentioned about like going in to record Cowboy Bebop, and sometimes it would be right after or right before the recording of Samurai Pizza Cats. And he's like, "Yeah, these guys would just get hammered and then start recording the voice acting." It's like,
excellent.
We go into the recording booth, it would just smell like booze.
Okay, I'm gonna put this back at the end because I can't 100% confirm nor deny what this is.
Yeah, the fact that we can't even the fact that we can't even place the show warrants it, D. All right, just wait. Are you serious? Are you serious? I don't even know what this is, but it might be great. You know, fuck that. It's a D. It's garbage.
Isn't that show? Isn't that some form of cats flying planes or something? I can't remember.
Fuck that. It's garbage. Yes, I remember.
Kind of like some kind of new wave, like. Some kind of new wave Roger Ramjet or something.
No, that might actually be Tomcats.
It was Tomcats. Exactly.
I was like, what's the one? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it was Tomcats, and exactly, it was the same as Street Sharks. It was the same as Biker Mouse.
Yeah, you're right.
It's trash. It's garbage.
Oh yeah,
chuck it in the bin. Yeah, D2.
Yeah. Mega Man.
Mega Man.
See,
is that Mega Man Battles Network?
Mega Man.
I'm gonna agree with Jeff on this one. I did not care for it.
It was bad. It was funny but bad. The Mortal Kombat animated series.
The main event we're all here for. The Mortal Kombat
The Mortal Kombat series. I never really watched it.
It was a tournament.
It sure it's just whatever.
It wasn't Tomcats, it was SWAT Cats. Hang on.
SWAT Cats.
SWAT Cats.
Oh.
SWAT.
I was like,
Cats.
Yes, this is it. SWAT Cats. I never watched it.
Bad.
Never watched it.
It was horrible. There we go.
All right, quickly, G3 is about to pass out and go to bed. G3, I'll continue to give you a full shout out at the end of the episode, but I got this in the mail and it melted my heart and he wrote on the back and it means the world. Love you, G3. The best.
Does anyone remember the Mortal Kombat animated series?
I do not. My mom wouldn't let me watch that shit when I was a kid.
Mortal Kombat!
Here's the thing. I know I watched it. I know that I got excessively stoned while watching it. And I do remember not enjoying it at all.
I do believe it's a bad one.
I've
never seen it.
I don't believe I watched it. I had a little fish around to see what the consensus was.
Yeah, just check Muppet Babies and D for me.
Chuck it in fucking worse than D.
Oh my god, I'm a Muppet fan, but yeah, this one's
Terrible.
And like I will usually say, any kind of any kind of baby kind of version of something, I'm absolutely not a fan, except for maybe Rugrats. But like, it's just that's not. Why is that appealing? Like,
here's where the argument begins and ends. If you like the Muppets or don't like the Muppets, it's still a D.
Exactly.
Exactly. Here's an interesting one. Which Hulk is this?
This is the Incredible Hulk, 1994.
Yes.
And
never saw it.
How bad this is.
Never even.
It was on
remember
the
seeing
same
it
line
in
as the rest of the fucking Marvel bullshit.
Yeah, that's what I believe, right? Like I seem to remember. It was like afternoon TV when I got home from school, and like kind of
never watched it.
It was done by New World Animation.
Yeah.
A comedy.
For those that don't remember, this is the period where Marvel were going tits up bankrupt.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. The second season was done by a completely different company.
Yep.
All right. Can we save?
So bad.
Yeah. Let's just throw it in D. Cow and chicken. I'll throw cow and chicken in B.
I never seen it.
That was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that's a comic network. No, whatever it was.
Cartoon Central. Yeah.
I'm starting to think that I have a supreme hatred of Cartoon Network. This for me was
that is where I think we're a little bit on the same lines. I was not the biggest. I was not much of a fan of Cartoon Network. Like in general, even though they're quite different, but like a lot of them had a bit of a vibe that was.
I'm interested. I'm interested because you said you were a big fan of Ren and Stimpy, and it had same kind of crude humor. And
I know. That's what I mean. There's a bit of scope there to get outside. Yeah, but all the CN shows, I think like Cow and Chicken, I did find a little bit funny. So
her favorite food was pork butts, and Ren and Stimpy's favorite food was powdered toast, which came from a very masculine.
Funny.
It was very funny. Okay, we'll have the Ren and Stimpy discussion when we get to it.
Exactly.
All right. Street Sharks goes in D.
A tier.
B.
Yeah, Street Sharks.
I don't know. Haven't you been?
I had the action figures. Come on.
I know it. See. So Jeff's been criticizing the ones that are there to sell action figures. When you remember nostalgically having the action figure in your grasp and you actually got it, then you love the show, and that's generally my experience. I hated Mars because I didn't have the toys and the other kids did, and then Street Sharks, I found one literally in the garden. Like I found one in the dirt and I had one.
Let me clarify. Let me clarify. I fucking watched Street Sharks. I had the fucking toys.
Yeah, what was your favorite?
I remember the old guy with the wiggly thumbs that could find water. Yes, I watched the fucking show. It's D. It's garbage. Go
good.
Yeah.
Not a good show. No.
I'd still put it in B tier. So, what do you vote it as, Sam?
I'll bump it up one C for the memes and the fun.
Sure.
Like the fact that
Chesh, I didn't hear what your vote was, Chesh. What do you want?
Humanoid sharks. What creativity?
It was D for Dick. Thank you, Brandon.
D for Dick.
Reboots.
Reboot.
I've never seen it.
We're not worthy.
Oh, Reboot is amazing. I love Reboot.
Reboot is fucking excellent. Reboot is the conceptual, like the mind of like what they're doing. They're doing the whole video game within a video game thing. Like it was
so unique. It's so unique.
It's unique, exactly.
Hey, okay. Minus the incredibly racist robot character but still, I love the show because it did something different. It took risks, and I think a lot of the time it paid off. I'm gonna put this in an A or a B at least.
Yeah, I want to put an S just to bump the average, but it's probably more realistic than A. But Kate is gonna hate me for saying this.
I'll put an A. I'll put an A. Yeah,
we talk about cartoon and early life crushes, but she admitted to me she had a crush on Bob from Reboot.
Oh, Bob's great.
I would too. Bob's freaking awesome.
Dot had heavy stepmom energy, and I like that about it.
So Jeff, you will love this. Did you play through Dark Souls 2?
I have not played through Dark Souls 2.
Oh, there's a character later on. I remember one of my finest Reddit moments back on Dark Souls Reddit was like I made a comment that one of the NPCs later on has like a bit of a blue tone. I'm like, it just looks like Bob from Reboot, and like it's an absolute dude, and everyone loves it. It's like, what? That was the most weird abstract reference I ever heard.
You have gorgeous eyes, Chesh.
Exactly.
No, I'm just bored with this conversation, and I want it to be over because reboot.
Hey,
All right,
you know,
Reboot.
we can't
Hey,
control
I'll put
every
in.
conversation. We're waxing lyrical about Bob from Reboot.
All
So
right, sure.
Okay,
All right, SpongeBob S. SpongeBob S. 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 S.
thank you, Brandon.
I'll agree with
1,000%
S
S.
here.
1,000%.
Kind of has to be, right?
Too many
Like,
memes,
Yeah.
too many episodes, and they just.
It's just
Cultural phenomena.
It's just a good show. Period.
Oh yeah.
Chess.
Chess, do you have any? Chess doesn't like
weird accent.
SpongeBob, does he?
For me, that's an A. Thank you.
Okay, I'll go S.
Ooh.
I'll go S.
It's
So
Three
three
S's
S's
and
and
an
an
A.
A, it stays an S.
It's still an S. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Real monsters.
Real
I'm putting
Monsters.
this in S as well.
S tier.
I'm putting this in S. Yeah.
100%. Like
Get over here.
this was creative. This was like
Yes.
the right amount
So
of gross.
creative.
Like the cool gross, where it's like, oh, that's. I mean, again,
Yeah.
I'll fast forward. I wasn't the biggest Ren and Stimpy fan. I felt like that
All
was
right.
Answer. This was the Glasgow Kasupi answer to Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah, 100%.
A step further and going, well, we don't want like these humanized like weirdo baby things. We actually just want to make monsters.
So
Yeah.
incredibly good idea. Monsters Under the Bed, having it like a business. It did it before Monsters Inc. did.
I was about to bring up Monsters Inc. thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Where Monsters Inc. came from, kids. It came from real monsters.
Yes.
Especially when you have
Yeah.
like a monster who's a cross-dresser. He's completely left field for this time frame.
And he's the principal. And he's in charge. Yeah. It is incredible. And not only this had the Rugrats animation, but darker, and that makes it just
exactly.
100%.
Like it could pull punches you weren't quite ready for. You're like,
oh god, it was so good.
it was excellent. Nickelodeon, like what do you call it? Like pinnacle too. Like that time was so cool.
I like
Totally.
I think my favorite part about it. Oh, sorry, go Chesh. Sorry.
With their animated stuff during this period was amazing. Their live action stuff, however, like all of their live action kids shows were trash.
It just
And it's
everything led to get chucking slime on people. That was it.
Minus hilarious. Such a difference between live action and animated, where they, holy shit!
Hey! Let's
Guess
not.
what? Guess what? Nickelodeon and DC very fucking similar.
Let's not throw all that and Guts under the bus like that. All right. Okay. All that was amazing.
Hold on.
Guts was awesome too. I wanted Legend of the Hidden Temple. The game shows.
Oh!
Yeah.
I forgot about that, to be honest.
Gives me nightmares to this day. God damn.
Legend of the Hidden Temple was amazing. I would have.
I heard they're gonna make a movie out of it or something.
I would have killed to be on that show. Probably.
Yeah, me too. How scary is that? As a kid, you're on Legend of the Hidden Temple. You're in a side-scrolling platform, a video game, and some like fully burly man in like not much clothes and a mask just comes out and grabs the kid.
Yeah,
it's a role playing.
Fun fact about Rocco's Modern Life, if anyone wants to hear it.
Wait, I was gonna say something about Real Monsters. One of my favorite things about it was the fact that they included diversity as a part of the monsters, and that part of the acceptance was the hugest part about it. And I absolutely love that because growing up as a kid,
let me build on to that. The best part about that is you didn't even notice.
Yes.
It just was there. You didn't even question it, and that's the best representation you can have.
Yeah. Everyone was individual, and it was cool. Like it was, bang on.
It was just there, and it was part of the world, and it made sense, and they didn't even justify it, and that's the best.
It wasn't ham-fisted, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, you guys love this. All right, so fun facts about Rocco's Modern Life. You ready?
Good. Yes.
Who does Rocco work for in the show?
Who's the character? Hold on.
He works for a sex line.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he
Oh,
worked.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
was one episode. That was one episode.
It's in the complete beginning, like in the intro,
Mm-hmm.
for every single one of them. Right?
It's just like the Animaniacs level like wackiness that
No,
it's like,
no.
wow.
The innuendos in the show are through the fucking roof.
That's what I mean. Like there was that, but like it's like, well, we're gonna be showing you some things. Like
No,
They never cover it. His best friend, Heifer,
Mhm.
who several times throughout the animation has been referred to as a he, him, is a cow, utters.
Yes. Yes.
Actually, it's a trans man,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
fucking amazing that they hid that shit in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely impressive. For anyone who doesn't know, who maybe hasn't listened to the theme song for Rocko's Modern Life, that is absolutely the B-52s doing the Rocko's Modern Life.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew that. It's
yeah,
the
it's so good.
B-52s, yeah.
But yeah, Heifer is just like the weirdest thing because it's like constantly played on that Heifer is a bull, basically, because they were constantly like Heifer looks like a man, acts like a man. They refer to him as a man, but has udders. It's very clear that it's actually a man, and I think that is fucking amazing.
We're at an hour and 40 minutes, but I propose that we watch the first episode of Rocko's Modern Life right here, right now. I have it on my server. I just recently rewatched this show, and I can tell you it is D tier.
So that's a next week type thing, dude.
No, Rocko's is easy S. Have you gone back and you went back and watched it and you think it's D?
Yeah.
It's a really good fucking show.
As a kid, I loved it, but I downloaded it again because I loved it so much. And I went back and I rewatched the whole thing, all 4 seasons, because I loved it so much. And it is cringe to me now.
It's honestly a really good show, though.
When I was a kid, I fucking loved it, but now I just recently rewatched it, and to me, it makes me cringe.
Whatever.
So that's just my personal.
I'll take into account that Brandon doesn't like good things, so let's put this in S or an A. Here.
I think I'm judging things based on the way I've been doing the whole time, which is definitely like there's a bit of like current day awareness of the shows, but it's like how I enjoyed them as a kid.
Yeah, and to be fair, I started out with S on this until I rewatched it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think as my childhood self, absolutely S tier. As myself now, and I just recently watched it, I can't get on board with S. I'll put it in C. How about that? I'll put it in C because I still have a strong love for it as my child sense, but after rewatching it as an adult, it just dipped hardcore.
I rewatched a few episodes as an adult, and I fucking loved it. Still, it was very good, especially that little arc where Mr. Big Head reconnects with his son over the donut. That was great. But anyway,
satirical social commentary in your cartoons as a kid, I love it. Like I'm an S in this one. The offbeat animation, the illustration style was so again otherworldly, like Twisted Fever Dream in a way too. Like I love that. And then also I just remember now I played a lot of Microsoft Movie Maker as a kid, and then like the Nickelodeon Movie Maker was so much fun because you get all like the characters like from Rocko.
I remember that.
Oh my god, I made some masterpieces.
So for me, this is an A.
X-Men is a solid A.
Go back and rewatch this, and I can absolutely understand where Brandon's coming from because it is kind of cringeworthy. At the same time, the main cringeworthy thing for me for Rocko's Modern Life is that Rocko is a rock wallaby.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
And therefore is supposed to be Australian.
Yeah.
I'm Australian. Fucking accent is horrible.
Yeah, I know. It is bad. It has been noted. It's been noted that too.
Dragon. Okay.
He's not a black dragon. Noted.
All right, X-Men animated series. I'm gonna put this S tier for me.
I loved X-Men as a kid, and I still love it today.
Thing here. Morph was a really fucking weirdly drawn, horrible character in this. I'm so happy he died really early. Oh, sorry, died really early when he didn't actually die. You find out later. This is an S tier for me.
Yeah, this was excellent. I
Yeah.
like.
Oh, Jeff, you
I-
said A before, right?
I'm gonna. I'll settle with it. I'll settle with an S. That's fine. I think it goes in A or S. S is fine with me.
And when it comes for intros, like this had
Yeah, the best intro of all time.
perspective on the intro, like with the way that like the X jet is flying over the top, and then boom,
It
the
has one of
X-Men
the-
just like bam, smacks you in the face, and you're just like, this is epic.
Yeah, it definitely has one of the best action cartoon intros of all time. Period. End of story.
Fox,
Let's
just
the only
one
one.
second.
Okay.
Dear Fox, how the fuck did you get this so right? And yet, after this, you couldn't make an X-Men movie, save for the first one, it was alright, to save your fucking lives. What happened? Where did the Batman touch you?
Oh man. Another great intro action. But Gal Gaigar. But that's for all the weebs listening. Gal Gaigar. That intro is fucking amazing. All right, Ren and Stimpy. Let's talk about Ren and Stimpy.
Let's not talk about the creator of Ren and Stimpy because that will
No.
automatically make.
Yes. The create. Okay. All right. So, and we're not gonna have a conversation about separating the art from the artist because that's an entire 8-hour show.
That is an 8-hour show.
Let's just exactly. All right. So, barring in mind, however, the creator is incredibly trash. Noted. Hate him. The worst. Everything bad you could say about the guy. Noted. Agreed. The show itself, S. This is one of the best shows ever made.
Absolutely no reason why I should love Ren and Stimpy as much as I do, because it is fucking dumb, right?
Yeah.
But there was something about a Mexican Chihuahua and a stupid fucking ginger cat.
A good-natured dim-witted cat.
Basically, in every episode, you idiot.
Yeah.
This is for some reason I don't understand why this is an S. With a very strong. Nope.
Yeah.
No, sir. Like it.
It's log. It's log. It's big. It's heavy. It's wood. It's S.
I'm gonna go with B tier on this. I'm sorry, B tier for me.
Not like Harry Postman.
Yeah.
I have to
my
balance
God.
this out, and I feel like I'm in the same boat as Brandon. That I know how excellent it is, and I did watch a lot of it, and great and everything. But there's always something that was like, I wouldn't push it near my favorites. Like maybe it was style, like how weird and dark and graphic it was at
This
times.
show
But
deeply affected me as a kid in ways I can't explain.
We can tell.
Yeah. It
I'll
was.
still put in an A or B though. Like
It's honestly like there are moments of Ren and Stimpy I think about at least once a month. I'm just like, wow, yep, that memory's coming back for a brief moment. Like the episode where they went on the space station and they get space madness. And Ren has his soap bar that he claims is his ice cream bar. That comes back to me sometimes because it was just so fucking disturbing as a kid to watch. Like, literally, it's like that you have this like weird like Stanley Kubrick moment of just like Ren is like, this is my ice cream bar, like going at the back of the show. Nobody can take it from me. And it's like, oh man, as a kid, you're watching it like, I understand the emotions I'm having right now, but this is not right. This is not right. When a kid show that does that kind of thing, for better or for worse, I think is worth some
Chet,
high
how do
quality.
you rate this? I think at the moment both Sam and I are at a B.
That's how I rate it.
I think we landed an A, right?
It's an S for me.
All right.
Two
I'm
S's,
fine
two
with
B's.
there.
Mhm.
Spider-Man the
Okay, so
animated
this
series.
is
So this one was
Spider-Man the
actually
animated series.
good.
Yeah, it was
Not
good.
only was this good, this was, I believe, another Fox production,
I
and you
believe so
can
too, yeah.
absolutely tell because of the intro. So the animated intro is very
It's
similar
very good. Yeah.
in feeling to the X-Men one. This was an extremely good, even to this day, animated series. You can actually watch this on Disney Plus. If you haven't watched it, please, I implore you to go and watch it. This is very good. It's a lot of fun, and they actually do something that's about to happen in the Marvel movies.
Mm.
Wow. The whole Madam Web Secret Wars thing
Oh,
fucking happened. The whole, like, this is a legion of Spider-Man. We need to figure out who the leader is. And it turns out that, surprise, surprise, it's Peter Parker's going to be the leader because, Peter Parker's a real Spider-Man. Including the Tony Stark Iron Spider-Man. I had this figure in the 80s/90s. It was this big. It was massive. It was cool. This entire series of Spider-Man does not let you down, does not let up, and is very good. And the voice acting is superb. The acting itself is great. All of the writing is fantastic.
Yeah.
Animation's a bit janky, to be honest, but it is very good.
So
This is
there
an
is
S tier for me.
multiple. There was fun, entertaining thing. There was multiple animation studios behind this, and it ended with Tokyo Movie Shinsha as the last person to do it. But it started with the Marvel Entertainment Group, then Marvel Films Animation, then went to Tokyo Movie Shinsha, and it was distributed by 3 different companies over the course of 4 seasons.
All right. So
Wow.
here's what I have to
Always
say
good.
about Spider-Man the animated series. Batman was my favorite superhero as a small child and a kid, and this series moved me over to Spider-Man. Spider-Man became my favorite superhero. I was constantly trying to draw pictures of Spider-Man and his mask, and I read
Spider-Man.
right before I read the Harry Potter books, I read a few Spider-Man books. I read one about Croc. That was amazing. I read this. I fucking loved Spider-Man, and this series is what changed me over.
It's really
so
good.
I really liked it.
It's a fantastic deep lore in Spider-Man too.
Yeah, here's a fun fact about me. I actually grew up watching and reading Spider-Man stuff. Before this came out, I was already reading Spider-Man comics. My brothers who are older than me were absolutely in love with the DC universe. They loved Superman and they loved Batman. And I didn't get it because Batman was a little bit darker. So I grew up on Spider-Man. Only once I started kind of hitting my late teens did I start getting into the whole Batman thing because I was like, oh, actually, this guy's a lot more grown up. Like the richness I didn't care for. I was just like, that's really fucking lazy. But the fact that he was the world's greatest detective, yes, kids, that's the thing. Batman actually used to be a fucking detective and not just a crime-fighting vigilante.
Well, it was called the Detective series, yeah.
Yes, exactly. I had a moment where once basically this animated run of Spider-Man had finished, and once the comics started changing to like Clone Wars and stuff like that, it started just becoming a bit weird. And more or less, basically what happened was Marvel made me switch to DC to get my fix of decent comic writing, which is fucked, right? That's weird to say it like that. But yeah, as I grew, I ended up growing into DC. The only reason I've ever gone back to Spider-Man is basically because of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Because that first new Spider-Man movie, I was like, well, I mean, we've seen them like try to do Spider-Man shit in the past and it's been horrible. Let's see how this goes. And that was a really good movie. Yes, I'm aware the third movie is shit. Don't talk to me about it. Yes, the second movie is great. No, the Garfield stuff is all trash. Don't even talk about it. And Tom Holland is a fantastic Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I agree with everything you said there, except for I will go to say that the first Tobey Maguire one was the best out of all of them, and I am a big Sam Raimi fan. But that being said, the portrayal that they had in the first Tobey Maguire movie was probably the better out of all of the Tobey Maguire ones.
I actually
You broke Jeff.
I don't think Jeff's watched any of these.
Yeah, I'm so confused.
I know, me too.
Tell, Jeff.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's just wow. Your tastes are so shit. It's laughable.
But their tastes for that reason.
I mean, what was your favorite Tobey Maguire Spider-Man then?
Oh, I thought you meant the best Spider-Man movie that was
Oh,
made.
then you can shut up.
Okay,
He didn't even.
all right.
I didn't even get to finish my sentence before he ripped off his headphones and started sucking his own dick. Anyways, fun fact for Chesh.
I mean, it wouldn't
The
surprise
first
me if you
season
thought
was
that.
Lizard Behavior story arc. The second season was Neogenetic Nightmare. The third season was Sins of Fathers. The fourth season was Partners in Danger. And the fifth season is very odd. It had 1, 2, 3, 4. It had 5 story arcs in the fifth season, which is very crazy because the other seasons were full story arcs up to like 13 to 14 episodes.
Where are we gonna put this? We're at it's 2:40 a.m. Where are we gonna put this?
Oh, okay. I'd say probably A for me.
A or S for me. Yeah, I'm fine with either one. A works for me. Street Fighter show D. It's bad.
Ooh,
D.
yeah, it's bad. It shouldn't have happened. It sounded great, but nope.
Superman A tier for me.
This is S tier for me because this is Superman done by the same people who were doing Batman at the time.
Yeah, the Superman show was incredibly good. S tier.
Enjoy this.
This was
the
people will tell you the big blue Boy Scout is boring and shit. Go and fucking watch that and tell me that your Invincible Superman is boring and shit because they made him not invincible. They made it so he could get his ass beat, and he was fantastic.
Yeah, it had very, very, very good episodes with very, very interesting plot lines. All right,
this will
Powerpuff Girls.
A tier.
This for me is A tier for sure.
Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
Because sugar and spice and everything nice.
With a little bit of X.
I'm gonna chuck it in S tier too. I love what it represented. I love also the powerful female kind of leads there. Also, the animation was super unique. Like it was, the style was unlike anything.
It's the same company that did Samurai Jack, wasn't it?
Also,
the
intro was drum and bass. So let's go.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's just hectic and cool. Like, yeah.
Okay, I don't know what this one is.
Huh? What was that, Tesh? You don't like drum and bass?
The one thing that we should appreciate from Powerpuff Girls?
Oh, Mojo Jojo?
That's weird.
Yeah, Mojo Jojo. Exactly.
Mojo Jojo. I want a bionic Asian monkey who is hell-bent on destroying the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, with his brain exposed.
Yeah, exactly.
The main villain was a devil who was also a crossdresser, but also the mayor of Townsville was a really good character. Everything was good about this series. It's delightful. It's a fucking delightful show. I don't watch it
exactly. That's where Cartoon Network hit that great pinnacle.
This was Whatever Happened to Robot Jones. And
never watch it. Do recall it though.
Living up to the title, Whatever Happened to Robot Jones?
Yeah, exactly.
It was a very short-lived series, unique animation, delightful. Since nobody has watched this, I'm gonna put this as an A or a B. Let's throw it in B.
I like that.
It was very short. He ate by plugging himself into the wall, and then everyone made fun of him because that kid eats with his butt, and, and it was very honestly great theme song. If you haven't watched it, just watch the pilot, and every episode is like it. Very short, very fun. Whatever Happened to Robot Jones?
Like it. Looks fun. Looks like a lot of fun. Yeah.
Kablam.
I only watched 1 or 2 episodes. I can't make judgment on it.
Hold on.
See, I don't remember much of it. It's Kablam. Kablam was a cartoon that introduced other shows on the network. Like what was As soon as I said that, I forgot the name of the show with the action figures.
Exactly.
You mean as soon as you said that, you got kablammed?
Yes,
Action
exactly.
League, Action League now.
Action
I see
League
it now.
now. Yeah,
That was freaking hilarious.
Yes, it was very funny, but like this cartoon, its sole purpose was to introduce other shows. That was it. So like we got Pete and Pete next. We got and that was it. That was all this was.
It was
Sniz
the
and fondue,
it was the hype man.
like-
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like the variety show kind of. What do you call it? Narrate on guest host.
Yeah,
Filler.
so it wouldn't,
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't even consider this a show, but whatever.
No, not really. You're right, but like DLC. Yeah.
Huckleberries.
The wild thornberries.
Or Thornberries. I didn't watch the show. I just recognize the art. I've never seen it.
Nigel Huckleberry. Yeah.
I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
I
Partially.
I liked the show, but I haven't. I hated the monkey. I remember that. I fucking hated the monkey.
Oh, he's so annoying. Like, yeah.
I hated the little kid, but
Donnie,
Nigel Thornberry. Okay, if you were just remove the entire family and just have Nigel Thornberry, it would be S. But the
Nigel Thornberry spin-off.
the entire family brings it down to a C. But if it was a C or a B, Nigel Thornberry carries the back on the show like Atlas does the world on his shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Just throw that in D. Just throw that in D.
DLC.
Well, so Chesh said he hated the show, so that's a D. Both of you said C, and I've never seen it.
Okay.
So I put it in D just because of the low mark, but if you want, I can bump it up to C.
I like C.
Whatever. I like C better just because of Nigel Thornberry, but let's.
Exactly.
Baby Scoop. No, fuck that. Throw that in D. That's garbage.
Is that Baby Scoobs? What the hell?
Yeah,
what was? You know what? Baby insert IP was the video game. I mean the TV show version of the video game. Insert cart at the end. Like goddamn! Like we don't need to see babies of those things.
I think it was called the Mystery Kids or something like that, and it was like the gang is kids bad. It's just bad.
It's god awful. It's like what focus group said we need to see that? Like Super Mario Brothers babies. Like goddamn.
Who the fuck is
they
driving
made Baby
around?
Mario.
If Fred isn't old enough to fucking drive. Who's driving the fucking mystery machine? What the fuck, Hanna-Barbera?
It's Fisher Price's My First Mystery Machine.
They had Muppet Babies. They had all of these like shitty that no one fucking asked for.
No one asked for Rugrats babies. Oh shit!
Yeah, seriously, what fucking focus group thought that was a good idea?
It's fun.
Like
X-Men babies. No,
seriously. When I look at like Muppet Babies or what do you call it, Tiny Toons or anything like that, I just think I don't see the show. I just think of all the time and ink and labor wasted. All this.
Yeah. It's like it's like this is barking up the wrong tree. No one asked for this. Yeah. Do you feel the same about Scrappy Doo as a character that shouldn't exist?
Yes.
Scrappy Doo.
The most horrible fucking invented, and they should feel very.
Oh my god! Like who asked for Scrappy Doo? Like
no, like that. Scrappy Doo. When you look on the dictionary under the word unnecessary, there's a picture of Scrappy Doo.
And Muppet Babies.
AKA, there's a picture of a penis.
All right. Well,
wow. All right. That's a tier list.
Yeah, this is a great.
I like this one. This is fun. This is fun. Picking up nostalgia from deep lore of our deep laws.
we had some differing opinions here and there, but
I think all in all, this is a pretty good representation of how I would have rated most of these shows. So,
I just want to note how am I this pale? I'm more.
Oh no, Jeff. I've got a warm light globe in my lamp over here, so it's kind of just make me look tanned. So you've got the daylight white.
It just hit me. Like, oh man, I am Jesus Christ. Oh man. Yeah, I look like the Crypt Keeper.
You look like Bob from Reboot.
I look like a chubby Crypt Keeper.
Got the key. All right, Goblin Game. I think is how we're going to round this out. Right?
Oh,
I don't have anything really good close to me. Okay, I had Crown Royal Peach. Mixes great with Arizona iced tea. That's my Goblin Gang bag.
It's lovely. Yeah. Chesh, what is that drink bottle? FFFL.
So
Oh.
I decided to do the Mad Max 1 kilo burrito challenge. I've been sick for 2 days.
Damn.
It was a fucking.
Draconic's asking what is Goblin Game before you continue there, Chesh. Goblin Game is our inventor's little segment where we just pick up something from our desk that is of interest and tell a little story about it, which is usually each week we tend to find something that's kind of noteworthy.
With an arm's reach, I think is what it is.
Exactly.
Actually, I actually have a real fun one. Okay.
That's a testament to one of the greatest cards in Magic, Goblin Game.
yes.
So, Brandon, cue yours up because Cheshire's still going.
Yeah. I was gonna let Chesh finish.
May is my birthday month. 3rd of May was my birthday.
Happy
And
birthday.
Birthday month too, man.
every year I do the Mad Max 1 kilo burrito challenge. For those people counting at home, that's 2.28 pounds of burrito.
That's a bit of burrito.
That's a lot of burrito.
That is
Yeah.
A burrito.
Fuck ton?
And I probably, because we don't do it in store at the moment because obviously COVID concerns, they still, if you order, they'll still send you out a water bottle with it. They used to do masks.
So the Uber driver comes with a trailer.
Yeah, pretty much. So the problem was that I decided that I got like halfway through. Now I have, you can't see it, but I have a cut on my thumb from a fan pedestal that I cut myself. Like it's very sharp. On the morning of said burrito, I decided to get the burrito hot, as in spice-wise, which was a fucking mistake for a kilo burrito because they just put a shitload of spice in there. And I was about halfway through when a piece of that burrito fell into my cut. And at this point, it took over everything else, and I couldn't actually feel how much I was eating. So it was
Critical
pain
hit.
in
It
the
was
gut.
super effective.
it distracted
And
you.
instead of stopping at 500 grams or about 1.4 pounds of burrito, I decided to just continue because I was like, it's falling all over the place. I've got a plate here. I may as well just finish the burrito and I'll be fine. And then for the next two days, I was drinking like Metamucil, feeling very much like an old man. I'm like, this
old man church.
You ate a quarter of a watermelon.
Yeah, pretty much. And it was
to purge.
It was a bad time. So I've decided that going forward for my birthday every year, I will no longer be doing the 1 kilo burrito challenge because that is too much burrito for a 43-year-old to eat.
The line in the sand. You're too old for this shit.
I've been cutting down on portions because that's a good way to lose weight, along with like the exercising, but cutting portions down. So exceeding my portion by 3 times, literally, 3 times as much as I normally eat was extremely.
It's cheat day
painful.
though. It's cheat day.
Even with cheat day, like if you're
Cheat
eating
week.
Yeah. Stomach's like, what the fuck?
if you're intaking 3 times what you usually eat, that's not how the stomach works. The stomach expands over time. So if you go from a 1 portion to a 3 portion, that is extremely painful because your stomach's not used to being elasticized that large, and causes a lot of problems like digestive problems. It will cause you stomach aches. Your mind will also be negatively affected. You'll actually have, because of the pain and because of the digested process, you'll actually have nightmares because your body is trying to work through.
That's how you're gonna start hallucinating. Yeah.
So it's not about hallucinating, but
No, but it will affect
how the body treats it when you're asleep because it's constantly working hard to try and digest. That's why you shouldn't eat so close to bedtime.
Another reason why the gut is so intrinsically linked to the mind.
Yeah, and it really is. And people don't realize that. So it can cause a lot of.
They abuse their
weird,
gut and they're like, why am I miserable?
It's funny you should mention that because I did feel depressed because I had a really shit sleep. And then I had to go back to work the next day. So, like, usually when it's my birthday, I take a couple of days off. This time I only took one day off because we were under the pump. And yeah, so that is my water bottle story. Brandon, go ahead.
That's excellent. But you got a water bottle for it,
right?
Yes.
Did you get a T-shirt that said I devoured the 1 kilo slammer or something?
No. But it is a double-walled water bottle as well, so it's a hot and cold water bottle.
Oh, nice,
which
nice.
is great.
Nice.
Back in the olden days, did you have your picture on many walls of these places?
No,
You know, the
they
good ones where you do the
usually-
eating challenge and they take a photo of you and you're like, oh!
Man
do
versus food, just
Yeah, exactly.
Mad Max don't do that. So, and I've never entered any of those competitions because I think they're kind of shit and lame. Because it's
I reckon they're awesome.
the
You get your
rest-
photo on the wall anyway.
Well, the restaurant is out to kill you, essentially,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When you see these food challenges, and go and watch it on YouTube, and you'll find plenty of like professional eaters. They will go to a restaurant, and the restaurant will literally try and kill them with food. They'll advertise the food to be X, but it'll actually XY. So they'll actually add extra shit so that they are trying to make
Increase
you
the-
fail, basically.
Yeah, of
then
course.
If you
'cause they-
fail,
yeah.
you're paying like $50 for the food instead
It's
of
too
them
easy.
having
Why
to
would
pay
it be a
out.
challenge? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but the burrito challenge is like you've got to eat 1 kilo of burrito. I think in less than 5 minutes.
I got it.
And
I got a small story about that, but let's go ahead.
I think my best time was 2 minutes 34 for a kilo of burrito.
Whoa.
So,
there's no way in hell I'm gonna be able to do that.
No, exactly.
Oh my god.
Hey, Brandon, what did you find?
Beastly.
This comes from my work. It's
Hey!
I used to work for Trulia, but it's a duck with like a little like iPad.
and a Bluetooth headset.
Okay, so the story behind this is
duck.
I work in tech, so it's like a lot of engineering and stuff like that. And one of the biggest things that we were striving to do at the time was to build better code. And so they handed this out to every tech engineer in the company with a little
the duck.
tagline, and it was, "Whenever you're stuck, talk to the duck." And the whole
Aw.
point was that whenever you hit a line of code that you couldn't get past, you would tell it to the duck to reiterate out loud, and then you'd be able to fix it because as you're saying it out loud, you'd be like, "Oh, that's what it is," right?
Exactly. The
And-
importance of like dictating things.
And so I obviously now work from home, so I took it home, and now I have it on my desk, and whenever I'm stuck,
Now that-
I talk to the duck. So
Now the duck is uncomfortably my best friend.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Whenever I'm stuck, I fuck the duck.
I knew it.
Hum on the duck.
Cover the ears of the duck. Oh.
anyways, I thought it was really cool and really fun, and so I've had it on my desk for like years now. I think I've
That
had
is cool.
this duck for almost 7 years.
I love it. I love it. I want one of them too. Also, say hello to Cheshire's gorgeous cat.
yeah, 8-bit's gone again. He's
8-bit
very
is an awesome
squirmish. He
cat.
doesn't like up, so.
8-bit looks a bit like Garfield in a great way too.
It kind
Probably
All right,
hates
Sam.
Funny,
Mondays.
I'm the fat
Yeah.
one. He's more ginger than I am.
My one for this week is one that brought me some tears, I think, because it reflected on what you guys mean to me as Lexicon and the greater community and everything. I've been a patron of the Lexicon community since I thought it's the least I can do. Since I was a part of the Discord and everything, and I was like, oh no, actually, these parts that I used to contribute to and like add weird things to, like snags and everything, it's like G3 was like, oh no, we're going to put them behind the paywall. I'm like, oh shit, I never realized I wasn't even paying for the thing. I bet it's the least I can do. Anyway, don't expect anything back, and then get this in the mail, a postcard with G3 wrote it. A message to me and everything, which is lovely. You get this is all the other cool swag you get from the Lexicon community. You get the coasters.
Oh man.
I just realized. Oh, look at this one. That's got a G3 original on the back. So G3 does
shit.
these amazing like fractal pieces of art that we've talked about a lot, and it's he's put them on a lot of the stuff. I've got stickers because who doesn't like stickers? I put them everywhere. We've got some. He just bundled up a bunch of really weird magic cards, which speaks to my soul. So I got Mountain Yeti, We got who else? We got fish liver oil. Something anemones or something. I don't know. Scavenger folk. Love scavenger folk. Yeah, it's so good. Lots of weird ones. Freaking Dan. Love some Dan action.
We interviewed. What's his name? What's his name on the bottom of the card? No, the artist. Yeah,
Drew Tucker's on Dan.
Yeah, Andrew Tucker. We interviewed Andrew Tucker, and he talked about Dan and how they.
Glad.
Yeah, he said they told him, it's like, draw a big fish, and he's like, I had an interesting take, and they almost rejected it, but when they saw it underneath the boats, they thought it was brilliant. I'm like, it is brilliant. It's amazing.
It is. It's the scale. It's so cool. It's 2 blue mana for a 4/1 that like has some text on white, can't attack sometimes, but it reminds me of Jeff. Have you played through Sekiro?
I have not played through Sekiro, but
you'll love it.
Sekiro.
You would love it. It's so nice. I'm going to go back through after this. Actually, I'm in the mood, but it's gorgeous.
So fluid. It's gorgeous.
It's like Bloodborne. It's dancing, which is wonderful. But
it's Bloodborne plus.
Yeah, exactly. After playing all the Souls games, I don't find it any easier. It's still difficult.
No, it's very hard.
Some people find it easy. I don't know why. Anyway, but there's a bit near the end with some it gets a little bit astral in a really cool way, like a little bit spiritual, whatever. But you're in like a realm that's not necessarily like the real one. I can't remember what they call it. But there's a massive, just gigantic koi that reminds me of Dan, and it's like it's very satisfying. Anyway, so there's that, and then at Great Tokens. I think you guys have posted a bit. Oh, this is all you guys. This is where your pictures come from.
Yeah.
Amazing. The Inkling Customs, amazing art of all you guys as zombies and stuff. Like, I love this so much. So I got these. And then the last part, this melts my soul how happy this makes me, all this stuff. We've got Chesh, the lexicon token.
That's not the token that I'm missing.
Oh, no. It's still... I've got this Inkling one.
I don't know, Brandon. What am I missing?
Drawn by G3, I believe. So,
nice.
They're just the
I just threw out the top loader and it took half the ink off. No. Oh, that's why, because it's on the sleeve. I would have preferred.
So you're the third person to say that so far that I've talked to.
It's on the sleeve.
It's on the sleeve and it comes right off.
That's like, no, the genius is gone.
So you know what somebody else did? They took the sleeve out and put it in a perfect fit.
Exactly. Well, I'm going to line them back up in the top loader, and it's now perfect again. But it's kind of awesome as an Inkling, and makes sense as G3's ink. So, yeah. So, I mean, bottom line, you guys rock, especially G3.
Hey,
I mean,
thank you for supporting us, honestly.
Yeah, thank you.
I will throw you money as much as I can to the end of time, because it's the best movie ever.
Thank you.
And you've welcomed me as a wily Australian that doesn't... much except talk out of my ass, so it's
we appreciate the support. It's not needed, but we love you guys. So let's give Chesh some fucking tokens, huh?
Yeah. So wait, I remember what it was, and I did a reprint of it, and I gotta find it. But it was our original Crush of Tentacles with the Sharkosaurus eating our logo, and additional foil the foil tokens too.
Let's fucking mail them out. Come on.
I gotta reprint those. So Chesh, I will try and remember to do so. But those when we printed those, everyone wanted them and they went like super fast.
Look at the price of shipping. Far out. You guys don't mess around. 18 bones.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised, and that's why I'm.
Yeah. Oh well, hey, I'll chip in for that if you need me to.
And I think that's another thing. So you guys didn't give a shit; you just did it. It's like, wow, I appreciate.
Speaking about lore, actually, one of the things that I think people at home might want to know is that I actually won one of the giveaways. Like what? Last year or the year before? Year before.
Azusa deck? It was like the year before.
Yes, I won the Azusa deck, which came with some Inkling standard tokens and some foil tokens and stuff. and Brandon was supposed to put the tentacle token in there, and forgot.
That's when it was.
Yep.
But
Good job, Brandon.
trust Chesh.
time.
Trust Chesh when he's getting something for free to complain about what he doesn't get. Always.
Third time that Brandon was supposed to send it over. So that's why it's such a big deal.
It is a big deal. Hold
Please
that
remind me
motherfucker
every
accountable.
episode.
Hold him accountable. So my goblin game is this. No, I'm joking. I'm not going to show you that. It is. I'm just going to grab this off my desk. Is this too
It's this
depressing?
electricity pot that allows me to eat with my butt.
No,
Just grab
no,
your new
no.
bed. Just grab your new bed and show us the new bed.
Is it Casper mattress?
This might be no. I got Lisa mattress. This is too depressing to talk about, so I won't talk about that. That's fine. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be let's end it on a downer. No, let's.
Focus slow.
Yeah. No. This is something that somebody gave me a while ago, and I've never heard these words ever again. But let's just leave it.
So we will not repeat them.
No, don't worry about it. Speaking of which, all right, so perfect. I really wish we would talk more about Mortal Kombat because I have in my hand a Game Boy Classic.
Oh, classic!
And look what's inside.
As he breaks it.
Does that have an eject button? I can't remember. No. Oh,
Mortal Kombat for the Game Boy original. Yes, it's fucking amazing. It's bad. It's a really bad game. But the fact of the matter is, I do have a GBA that I traded. I can't remember what I traded for this exactly, but my friend traded me his Game Boy original because I lost mine years and years ago. And I know the longer they hold on to this, the more valuable it will become. Especially, I'm gonna get this thing modded to produce chiptune eventually.
Nice.
It will be worth nothing.
With LSDJ, that's not true.
You can make money out of that because
that's
you can
absolutely not
amazing.
True. In fact, modded Game Boys for controllerism with backlit go for like $300 or $500.
Yeah, because there's a scene. There is an absolute scene, and I think Jeff and I have talked about in Melbourne, especially. I've been to a gig or two, and they're fantastic. Like,
I love chiptune music, among other things. But I'm going to put a tracker in this. Get LSDJ maybe, and with a 3mm port on the back and the backlights and all that good stuff. So that's
a Game Boy printer to print out all your.
But that's my Goblin game.
That's pretty rad. Though.
I like it.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty rad. And this thing, as the lore goes, Game Boys are made out of Nintendium, so this thing will never break.
Nintendium. Yeah, exactly.
This
I
thing
love
will
that
fucking.
Nintendium.
It's missing the screen though. This is the only issue. But whatever. That's fine. That's fine. So yeah, that's my Goblin game. Let's wrap it up. Again, thank you guys for joining us. Thank everybody for watching. Appreciate your patronage and or support. Just being in tune is a big deal. We need all the viewers that we can get. We love you. Also, it says Nookie on the back of this cartridge. So
who is Nookie? What is Nookie exactly?
Yeah, we don't know.
How many questions?
The previous owner of the previous owner of the previous owner.
Yeah, the legendary Nookie, and then that's the one too. You open up, and all the save files are under Nookie, and like the top score under Nookie. It's like, oh, who's the legendary Nookie? And you make a documentary about tracking down Nookie.
Oh, baby! When I retire from my millions of dollars from my stock revenue, hopefully,
Dogecoin
career. Yeah.
What? Yeah, my $3,000 of Dogecoin. I'll retire off of that. All right. Take care, everybody.
Have a good one.
Bye. 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 Bye.